It's the season now to look, smile, and love each other. And there at the Workers' Club, you're doing just that.
Less done, but take what you can.
Give me that hockey puck.
Wait, with the H159 N1, you want it less done? You roll those dice? We got the mad cow disease.
I'm up for 6 hours. I'm rolling everything, baby.
Gus is eating. Oh, it's the Workers Club, and Gus is eating a burger. It's his go-to on a Tuesday, just like I eat pizza every Tuesday.
Those are two big patties too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous.
I know. This is a new segment we're calling "Commenting on What Gus is Eating." And can we just get another sweet bite from you before you wash it down with something?
Don't make them perform.
Yeah, perform for us. Take it and then look at right in the camera and go, very good. Oh man, you got two patties.
Yeah.
What's the cheese on that guy?
We just got some classic cheddar.
Just classic cheddar. And that's just from the same place?
Yeah, bacon. That's all you need.
I had that recently. I had this exact meal last night. Went to a burger joint, and I had the double patty, cheddar. I also had everything, the lettuce, the onions, the tomato. You know, I'm never going to be the guy that go, you want everything? I go, I'm not going to get specific. Yeah, okay, throw everything on there. Pickles, sure. I wish at this place, it's known for its burgers, this local joint. I wish they did smash burgers. I really wish they would. They do the hockey puck.
Where did I go? I don't know the smash burgers. I just tried a Freddy's steak burgers.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good.
Is that like a chain or is that a local joint?
Yeah, it's a franchise. It's a steak and shake style burgers. You can't beat those.
I'm doing this thing. I know. I'm a bearded fellow. Gus is a bearded fellow. You got to take the napkin at certain points and do this thing.
Absolutely.
You got to get everything.
That's the worst part of growing out the mustache. When I do that, is the food.
Well, with the mustache, you do it.
I hate doing
Do that.
though.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit later, I'll get a little bit more mayo. All right, we're ending it. We're gonna end Vince Russo tonight, and
hey, what are we doing next?
well, I'm going to take the PDF with the app. I'm gonna PDF. It's my pick, and I'm doing Ed Ferrara's. Ed Ferrara's little book. I'm telling you, we could probably knock it out in 1 or 2. I think.
Okay.
It's tiny, and I'm gonna see. And I have time to. I should have already done it, but I'll PDF it, and then if it works, great. If not, I think maybe a Jim Ross
I've been
book.
reading them,
So, if not, my backup plan is let's quickly grab a JR book.
Okay.
That's my backup. But yes, I have obtained a copy of Ed Ferrara's, as Vince Russo claimed, greatest fiction writing. Put the pen down. Don't write another word. And I've casually flipped through it. Seems like just your basic,
Better than Sophie's Journal.
That I can't say. I didn't dig. I was.
All right.
I was like, my first thought was, Ed Ferrara's read some Dean Koontz. He's read some Stephen King, and he's got some short stories to tell.
Listen, he worked in Hollywood, so he's more legit than Russo. I mean, you got to give him that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't think it'll be a worst book. Our worst book is this book right here. The worst book we've ever read. It's altered my mind.
It's not even close. Like, it's just It's sloppy. It has no direction. It is pointless. Like,
well, I was thinking about that today as I was ruminating on like, okay, we're at the end of Vince Russo. Like, what what have we learned? And you know when he does the thing where he's like, "All right, let's get back to the wrestling because that's what I know you really want to read." I was like, "What have I learned? I don't think I've learned anything about."
The fact that he lost all his money is new to me, and that makes me feel good. So,
He lost some money in a blue chip stock thing that he was told would be a winner.
I'm sure he's gone bust on other investments since then. Real estate, crypto. I mean,
You think
if he was doing good, we'd be hearing about
he
it.
would buy an arcade. It would go belly up. Kids pump quarters in those machines. Come on, Amy, it's a money machine.
There's actually a arcade probably about 20 minutes away. Actually, it does pretty well.
That's true. The hipster places.
I just realized that maybe a Vince rant would be, Amy, why don't they put Jerry Springer out on DVD? He's always checking Amazon. Jerry Springer collection. How can I get a hold of it?
They've got every single episode on Pluto, which is
he's
awesome.
You think he's a free? What do they call that? Flash TV? There's like a name for those channels.
Oh, Fast or something?
Yeah, Fast TV. Yes, because I think it was Rich
ad-supported TV.
Rich Craich threw out a wrestling pundit. Rich Craich, he would love that to be described as a wrestling pundit. Threw out that maybe that's where WWE goes. You know, they go to the Fast TV channels with the library all up in, who knows. You know, if they make a certain amount of money on ads, they just say, hey, throw out these channels, various channels, ECW channel, WCW channel. Gus, you interested? You're out. You watch it?
There is the Impact channel on Pluto.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've pretty much got everything backed up that I want off of there at this point. So
would you throw on a WCW channel on the old Pluto or an ECW channel on Pluto? Oh, God, hilarious!
A WCW Saturday Night channel.
Exactly. It's got to be like, I want the real sicko shit. Like, I want worldwide. I want.
Now you're talking about the worldwide with Scott Hudson, Mike Tenay.
Absolutely. Yes.
I
want the D shows and what was this? Like the Disney MGM studios.
Chuck
rotating
Palumbo taking on Dave Taylor.
Oh my God, yeah. Two guys trying to fight for a check. And, veteran and young up-and-comer.
This is all I know about, WCW. I'm just thinking about the time. It's a clip now, I think. I think it's, known, where Bobby Heenan was watching a Jim Duggan match, and Tony Schiavone
said laughs.
Yes, he laughs the entire match. He's laughing because Tony Schiavone calls him smart at one point. And so then he says the match laughing. That's good shit.
That's why I love watching old WCW. Like, there's just good, fun crap like that. So yeah, I would throw on if you give me more than just the pay-per-views and it's really truly just a random assortment, that could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. Do we have any other?
I love those Pluto channels. There's a Bond one right now.
I usually do the Twilight.
Shit, there's a Bond one. Usually, I didn't know there was a Bond one.
Those fucking Bond rights flip every 6 months, but now they're back on Pluto where they belong.
Interesting. As a former owner of the Bond Encyclopedia, which that kind of stuff that's when that might have been my first interaction with something where I was like, well, I'm not of anything that much of a fan. Where it had the license plate in this movie is this for Bond. This car, I'm going, who would memorize this? Who would want to know this? I can't think of one thing. When people know Star Trek ships and different details and lore, any lore, I'm always, that's I slowly start the farthest I think I know is I know what a Kyber crystal is. Don't test me, but it has to do with making a lightsaber. And that's just from reading books, where I was like, I'll read a Star Wars book, sure. Don't remember much about them, but
That's more than I know.
I'm
Well,
probably that way about Sopranos lore.
okay. Well, it's like Tony's license plate on his one car.
No,
his-
but I could tell you all the members of the family and who, everything going
So
back
I'm
2
bad with names.
generations.
Ugh. I wish
Yeah.
I could do that with Tony's. I can't remember names, so if, like, who's that? You got to show me a picture of that guy.
Mhm.
Like even the Apriles, I'm like, who's Rosie again? Oh, that's right, that's the mom. That's
Yeah. But I'm not into it that much because you know what? If you go on the Sopranos Reddit, those are sickos who like are mad about the inconsistencies in like Tony's uncle's story. You know what I mean?
it's fake. I say that so.
Tony and Christopher are only 4 years apart in one season, and another season they're 9 years apart.
All right.
And then in the movie they're 20 years apart.
Now, is that sadder than wrestling fans? Like, just being fixated on a thing that already took place and will
At
never
least it's
move
good.
forward? And
I've spent probably too many minutes on Doctor Who subreddits just purely responding to somebody. It's not real science.
Well,
Stop.
and I know I'm not a sicko because they do that Sopranos tour where it's Chrissy, Bobby, and Puss, and you can ask them questions. And I just think, what am I going to ask them? I don't care. Like I know, you know what I mean?
When
What
you
kind of
were wearing the
sickos-
neck brace,
Yeah.
that's like I never go to a wrestling convention. Like, I just
what are you going to say to these people? Thank you for your service. I've never had any desire to ask for anybody's autograph or even write like a letter or be like, I appreciate all the creative output you've done or anything like that. It's fine. I've given you my money. That's trickled down to you.
I've never gotten the other than the Jake thing. I never really. What are we doing? The meet and greet thing or getting an autograph or a selfie? Taking time out of your day to do that.
You know what I would do just to make it uncomfortable? I'd go up to Mick Foley and I'd say, my grandmother thought you were handsome, but you kept growing the damn beard. She wanted you to really just shave the beard so she could see your handsome face.
I'd be like, hey, asshole, remember that kid in Dallas, the Jack in the Box?
He's probably doing Crank now with the other Dallas people at the time.
Oh, that man.
Double teaming the mom. What was that story in Dallas?
Oh,
Yeah.
guys, come on. Mick is a nice boy.
And the
We need to get
underage
back
girl
into-
exposed.
No.
herself.
After Russo's like puritanical life, I need to get in the mud. Like, let's get someone filthy next. Like, I want just.
We can read.
Is
the
there
Sunny
any?
book.
Who's book?
Ooh, Sonny.
I reviewed it once
Ooh.
for the board.
Oh, Dave has that posted up on his wall.
It's terrible.
The Sunny book. So that's salacious. Yeah, we could do like the PDF of like Martha's book or Sunny's
Oh,
book.
I do kind of want to do Diana's fiction book.
Martha. I said Martha. God damn it, Diana. We established this, but I keep swapping them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Diana's book.
Oh no, my glasses.
Oh no.
We're fine. It's
I've
fine.
heard that so many times in my life in various situations. My glasses. All right, so Gus is in position. He's assumed, and if you don't know, you got to pay $20. Get in the Discord. By the time this airs, Larry will have put the Discord invite into the bio, and really try to get randoms into the Discord. If you give us $20, you can see Gus get into the position. He read his bedtime stories, and here he is. He's ready. Hoodie up, glasses on, lounged flat out prone on the couch. It's very nice. It's comfortable. What, Larry?
I had an idea, but I'm in a troubled state, so I'm gonna keep it to myself.
What?
No,
No, you say that.
You know what? We're all in a troubled
We
state.
should record, but I don't know what the reason to be recording would be on Saturday
Okay.
when I'm not well.
You're not going to be well on Saturday?
Yeah. That's
Doing
when I'm
acid.
going to take my trip.
Oh, you want to record during that? You want
I'm a
us to be
nerd.
your safety? You want to be our...
Is there like an
no, I got
OVW
someone.
show going on or something?
What?
If there's like an OVW show
Oh,
going on,
GCW.
is there?
I'm saying I
First
don't
of all,
know.
we could record because we're not going to record on Christmas Eve, correct?
No.
So if we record this Saturday, we could record the Ring of Glory show because that's what we want to do for next week.
Okay.
But do you really want to do that to yourself? And also, it could just be me and Gus talking about Ring of Glory while you just silently watch while you're thinking about why is this happening? Like, I'll be dead
That's gonna
soon.
be an interesting because like, what's that gonna like? That's gonna take you places.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't previewed it, so like, I don't know like how like religious it gets.
Oh my god! It makes you born again. You come out, you're like, guys, this actually might be good.
Well, I'm hoping that we're like, why don't we just start our own like Christian promotion and then just like
We're gonna talk about it somehow. This guy.
We
You
should,
ready?
I don't know. No. Okay, go ahead.
Let's get into it because we're going to get to Ring of Glory and we're going to get to how Vince Russo is the one man who could not make money with religion. Chapter 43, saying goodbye to TNA. This is an important part of his writing. He's got to walk the tightrope between fact and fiction as often as possible. Needs that, and this is all stuff he said before, he needs that shred of reality to the storyline so that the talent can sink their teeth into it. Yeah. It doesn't require acting. It'll come across as real because it's real to the performer. So he wants to use what's happening in his life, becoming a born-again Christian, and he wants to put it on TV. I didn't watch any TNA. I've never seen, I don't know what he's talking about or whatever came of this. Is anybody familiar with born-again Christian Russo?
No, you mentioned last week, I mean, it was in the book, about something where he said on TV that he was born again. I don't remember that ever being a thing, like hearing about it.
I remember him giving a promo about like going home to be a father to,
Yeah. Yes, he did that.
But I did not like really stick around TNA.
No.
I was like totally out of wrestling in general around this time, so like I couldn't tell you a fucking lick.
But I know most of like the wrestle crap parts of TNA and even the bad Russo shit, but I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
An animal ate another animal? Is that what you're saying? Oh, nature. Oh, she doesn't. My daughter doesn't like animals eating animals. She's upset.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Although
she knows that we eat meat.
Well, I don't think she's connecting.
She isn't connecting it.
Although
there's no
you ever watch
wife. Saw it in the corner.
The fights between different animals.
Yes, I love that so much. It's
Those are pretty great.
It is great. That's what we do on Saturday. We get super high and watch animal fight videos and gamble on it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I also like.
I need a night of degeneracy, I think.
Yeah, I tell you, the only time I can get my wife to crawl out around on all fours is when I'm recording. That's ow! I just got hit.
Bitch slap.
Okay, so Vince Russo. He doesn't want to look. He wants to make people Christians, okay? And he wants to do it like he did, where it was, he came to it naturally through people speaking the layman's. But he doesn't want it. He's not interested in banging people over the head with the Bible.
Oh, that'd be a good spot. Somebody like knock somebody out with a Bible.
Give Vince Russo enough time, and he would have hit somebody in the head with a Bible. I don't know. Maybe Ring of Glory has that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
So he wants people to understand. He wants to play the part of a bad boy gone good. again, this is a guy that was just like, I never wanted to be on camera. I'm just a writer. He wants to be a bad boy gone good, giving a chance to those wrestlers who had never been given a chance before.
How is that entertaining?
You don't want to buy a ticket to see the guy that's like, I'm here as a bad boy gone good, supporting the lower card guys that don't have a chance. Thank you. He has a faith and belief in the younger generation, the underdog, so to speak, and I'm simply giving them opportunities. The message was simple. We're all capable of change, and change can be a good thing. And I did, to Larry's point, I wrote, tickets! So Wildcat Chris Harris was going to turn him into a champion. That's what Vince says.
That was Braden Walker, right?
It was. I remember there being some steam to him around this time.
Yeah, he showed up though looking like a fucking.
Yes, he did.
He was like, I don't know if he was trying to bulk or what, but like thyroid condition, like.
Yeah.
I have no idea who this guy is. None, zero, zip.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there was some buzz to him on the internet.
Because America's Most Wanted was a badass tag team.
Yeah.
It was him and Storm. Yeah.
And then they broke off or whatever, and he did fine in TNA, and then went to the WWE ECW reboot thing and just had a disastrous run of like.
You're referring to James Storm that put OVW in the red.
No.
This is Lance Storm. No, Chris was who? Was James Storm or Lance Storm? Which Storm? You just said it was tagging with Storm. You said Harris tagged with Storm, America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, James.
Yeah,
James that put OVW in the red.
Yes. Okay.
So Chris Harris wore a cowboy hat, I imagine, at some point in his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when he showed up to ECW, I think his gear was super goofy too. He had like
he looked like Rhino.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
now you're talking me into the building.
Hey man, Rhino's in my boy stable.
Absolutely, the gore is. And when he did that jumping pile driver off of the apron through the table in ECW,
you wouldn't donate to his campaign, and yet.
Rhino, sure, I'll donate.
He's in Detroit, right? Or was it Florida?
No, it was Michigan.
Michigan. No, my brother used to work in Detroit media and did a story on Rhino. Was doing like a spaghetti dinner to raise like money for.
It's a spaghetti dinner or a fish fry. Now, do you guys?
Nevada pasta.
You gotta get Rhino kissing a baby, shaking hands. What I don't understand, maybe you guys can enlighten me, is so he wants to do this storyline where he is a born-again Christian, a bad boy gone good. And he writes within the boundaries of the storyline, within the boundaries, he's going to take a young Chris Harris and turn him into a champion. And in order for this story to work, the conclusion has to be Chris becoming TNA World Champion, beating Jeff for the title. And I'm going, I'm so lost. I didn't watch any of this. What the fuck are we
Chris
talking
Harris
about?
would absolutely not be the guy I would pick for that. I mean, he was never like.
No, come on. He was hot. He was like the baby. He had baby face fire.
But if the story was taking the bad guy, it's not like Chris Harris was like this evil, sadistic character. He was just
that's true.
Whatever. He was just a cowboy.
So wow.
I'm reading the Discord. A lot of Bix.
You're the one who posted them.
Well, I pulled it from another
Discord.
Discord.
That show is 6 hours long. Okay, at least you're not listening.
No, I don't even know who's on the show. I have no idea who these people are. Oh, you're shaming him. You're shaming him.
He deserves to be shamed.
It's the only goddamn thing we have left, people.
What?
A shame.
If you can't make yourself look any better than that, what's going on? We
What do
got
you
a
want
real
to go-
crisis.
What do you
You
want
have
him
to-
to go on Queer Eye?
No, but like, come on, man.
You're gonna go to. You want Jonathan Van Ness to be fussing with Bix's hair, going,
Hey, they cleaned him up for that Gawker documentary.
"Is he in
Wait,
that?"
So,
that's
yeah.
Bix?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's in that.
Jesus.
Yeah, they clean him up a little. Remember he's drinking the apple juice when they like show him watching a boxing match, like as like B-roll while he's talking. You're like seeing Bix what he does, which I guess is drinking apple juice out of a box and watch people box.
Now I'm just thinking of Jonathan Van Ness fussing with David Bixenspan, man, going, "Honey, your eyes are telling me so much, and you're hiding the eye behind all this scruff. We gotta clean you up. You got a jawline. Let's show it."
If money were no object, I wonder how much actual work it would take to become like king shit of wrestling media.
Oh, it wouldn't
No,
take much.
No,
I don't
wouldn't,
think so either.
no.
You just behave like a legitimate adult, and I think you're like 90% of the way there.
Now I'm
Maybe
thinking
a
about
$10,000 backer just to get
So-
you some
Yeah.
press, get you set
And-
up with the podcast, buy some of the right people a few meals come convention time.
I mean, you
you
could
get
get
interviews with relevant people.
Yeah.
you pay Corey Brennan $40,000 a year. He's coming on board. You get Corey Brennan. You get the NXT scoops right there.
He's not making 40 grand a year.
That's what I'm saying. You give him 40 grand. He's bringing all
I'm
those
not giving him
NXT scoops
40
with
grand
him.
a year.
Oh,
I
okay.
could pay someone in Argentina $6K and
Yeah, but-
probably have it better written.
Yeah, but do they have all the connections that Corey Brennan's got on NXT?
Won't take long.
All those connections where they're like, I think we're gonna push Trick Williams, and he's like, let me report that. Now I've been thinking while we've been talking about nominating. Now in Queer Eye, you nominate a hero. That's what they call the people, a hero. You nominate Dave Meltzer. He's our hero. I'm picturing them coming into his house and going, "Oh, honey," as they look at his hoarding, his office, and they're like, "No."
And he comes in his
Yeah.
Jordache acid wash jeans.
Yeah. And you can imagine him coming out and like after the makeover and he's dressed like a normal person and they're like, "Oh, yes." And they're clapping. And then they show him his office. It's all organized. And he's like, "Yeah, it's good. It's good." His girlfriend is crying.
Steve, does he have no self-respect?
And then he's doing they do take him around and show him the house and the property, and he's like, "This is my shed where I keep all my VHS tapes." And they're like, "Ew."
This might be the most deranged Meltzer fantasy booking yet.
Dave Meltzer
do him a
on
world
Queer
of
Eye.
good.
Well, they gotta also show him how to cook, and he's like, "Well, I eat a lot of protein," because they'll do that thing. Where like, "What do you eat on a normal day?" And he's like, "Chicken, broccoli, rice." And they're like, "Well, let's show you how you can cook a meal for your girlfriend, and that'd be a fun date night." And he's just like, "That's you can see that's never happening after this one episode." Well, I'll go sit and think about that later. But I didn't understand. So how does Vince Russo becoming born again equal Chris Harris being world champion? Like where he doesn't have any details. He just goes, the story has to end with it. And why? Is Chris Harris a Christian? Is that what his gimmick? I don't understand what the deal is.
I don't know, like his personal faith, but I mean his gimmick was just kind of like, I'm a cowboy.
So why is Vince attaching him being born again to this must result in Chris Harris?
No, I don't.
I
I don't know why you're connecting the two so hard.
That's because he said so.
Being born again is what makes him a babyface.
Yes.
And now he wants to push the young talent, including Chris Harris.
In order for this story, the story of him being born again or being a bad boy gone good, to work, it needs to have Chris winning the world title.
Yeah, anybody, but that's the guy they're picking. That's
So
all.
why is he involved? He doesn't even want to be on TV. Just take yourself off TV.
Of course, that too. The whole thing is no one would
Yeah,
ever
you're
like
so
this.
mad trying to make any sense out of any of this.
Well, unfortunately, Jeff did approve that storyline, and then he changed his mind.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
And I was like, boy, this sounds like a lot of stuff Vince Russo was complaining about earlier in the book, but now it's his friend doing it. Where it's like, that doesn't work for me. Sorry.
Yep.
And now Vince has to say, now when it's his friend, he says, well, I disagreed with him at the time, but it was Jeff's baby, and my job was what he wanted me to do. Okay. No stewing from Vince, no liking, so like just fuck this fucking place. They're not letting me push the people I fucking want. God damn it. But he did have a notion that this might be the end of my TNA stay. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. This is it. Where he all of a sudden Vince is like, well, maybe I'm not cut out to be here. The booking team. Man, I hate that term. I even hate typing it. I don't book, I write.
Shut the fuck up, nerd. Like, that's like, my title is like, blah, 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 architect, and it's not like I'm like, I don't code eye architect, or...
I'm building worlds over here. Booking, what is he going to call it? The writing team? Because that's what Brian called it.
I hate the term painter. I'm an independent contractor.
Well, Brian called it a writing team.
If you're good at what you do, they'll call you whatever you want. Get good.
Is Vince mad that Brian and all the people after him get to call it a writing team, the writing staff? They never call themselves a booking committee. They're not that.
It's true.
So it's him, Vince Russo, Jeff Jarrett, and Dutch Mantell. And so we're saying goodbye to TNA, and here we go. Vince all of a sudden is like, let me put this succinctly as I can. To know Dutch Mantell is to love him. And he goes, this is Vince being like Vince. Two of the most creative minds in the history of the business belong to Dutch Mantell and Jim Cornette. And he knows that Jim hates him. Both have a wit like none other. I swear to you, they could have been successful stand-up comics. The thing about Dutch, he doesn't have a hateful bone in his body. Dutch is harmless. Dutch's main objective is to put a smile on your face. Dutch is famous for coming up with sayings that you've never in your life heard before, even though he thinks everybody has. And here's a couple of Dutchisms, and I wrote, oh my god, this is Brian Hayes and Michael, or Brian Goodwards and Michael Hayes. Remember when Brian was like, let's pause and talk about Michael Hayes and all of his Michael Hayes-isms. Here's the Dutchism. He's deader than Kelsey's nuts. He's about as over as Adam's house cat. He's nothing short of brilliant and a man that I'll always admire. And then he goes, here's a few more Dutchisms. How's Dutchism? Never interfere with your enemies while they're in the process of destroying themselves. I was like, is that a Dutchism? That's just like, no. Yeah, what is that? Like Art of War? Like, yeah. If people are fighting amongst themselves, let them fight. He doesn't drink, smoke, do drugs, anything. Hell, what's he doing in the wrestling business? Okay.
Didn't Dutch probably get into a feud with somebody recently?
Yeah, Dave Meltzer. He was like, he'd kick the shit. He'd fucking slap the shit out of Dave Meltzer.
Yes. Thank you.
Wait, Dutch?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Don't make me look this. Okay.
Was it over the GoFundMe thing? Because I have questions about that.
Dutch Mantell, Dave Meltzer. Here we go.
Why would Dutch need a GoFundMe for medical bills if he's old enough to have Medicare?
Dutch Mantell blasts Dave Meltzer for insensitive reporting.
Dave's right.
He is right. I am Team Dave on this.
Dirty Dutch is just getting
Yeah, he's
rich.
working. He's double dipping Dutch.
Okay, here's the quote. This is from Dutch, okay? Meltzer writes that you and your wife weren't doing well. There was a GoFundMe out. I'll quote this here. They had raised $64,200 with most of their care. Full stop. Then, just aside from the fact that he's already spelled your name wrong, then he's just inserted a sentence. He goes, they'd raised $64,200 with most of the top donors being anonymous, and the largest known donors were Tony Khan, $5,000, Chris Jericho at $1,500. No mention of many anonymous people. No mention of Jim Cornette, who donated $5,000. No mention of the anonymous person who donated $5,500. So that being said, with Khan, many point out that Mantell was a podcaster who was brutal to Khan, even being critical of him with the promotion as it peaked popularity, a popularity peak, and recently criticized him for the contract term that Swerve Strickland got in his recent deal. And they just like, he goes, it's difficult reading that out loud. So basically what he's done is, I said this on a video, what he's done is turned the milk of human kindness of 2,000 people donating and turned it into a hit piece.
The milk of human kindness?
That's the quote. And he says, he goes, yeah, I've criticized Tony Khan. That speaks more of Tony Khan's humanity than it says anything about me. Yeah, I've been critical of him. It's my job. I go on here and talk about the business.
You got a little Charles Manson vibe going on with it.
I see the acrobatics. I seen gymnastics.
It's milk of human kindness, man.
I blasted him. Yeah. How many people have Dave Meltzer knocked? You can knock me, Dave, but I'll be knocking my family. But you're knocking my family now. That's a no in my business. I almost died. My wife almost died. But you gotta make a point that you don't like me. You gotta come out and you gotta blast me for that. I've read some of Meltzer's stuff. Yeah, I could knock that too. But I've always said he's a good writer. He's a prolific writer. He just writes too much, and he goes on and on and on and on. I don't even know why people pay attention to him anymore. But I don't even know why he had to get in there unless he had a score to settle with me. And what was that score? He's pissed at me? He's been pissed for 5 years? Printing a bunch of misinformation, and when I tried to correct him, he wasn't going to do that. I did this on Twitter when it was still Twitter. And all of a sudden, I blasted him a couple times on there, people reading it. He just blocked me. Clear out of the blue. Never heard another word from him. That's a chicken shit way to do it. If he wants to defend himself, defend yourself, Dave. But I think he told somebody, he clogging up my Twitter. Nah, I was telling the truth, and you didn't want people to know it. What an insane human being.
What an insane business.
By the way, also, who told Dutch? Oh, he probably blocked you because he's your Twitter is too much replies. He wanted to clean up his Twitter feed. It was clogging up. Who is that in the weeds? I don't want David and Dutch to be mad at.
Yeah,
they can't be mad at each other. Let's make something up.
I'm just gonna in my head. It's Nash who passed it on the Dutch.
Dutch, you don't understand when he follows everybody. It's just the whole thing, and then he can't parse out all the eggs to bicker with.
Does Nash still have centrist Democrat in his Twitter profile?
God,
I'm sure he does.
What
piece of
what
shit.
are Kevin Nash's feelings on Luigi?
I'm not listening to that show to find out.
Jeff, Dutch, and I gelled well. He was not getting to a point of frustration. This is when Vince gets frustrated, he doesn't like it. He is not interested. But it seemed like to Vince that every time he goes to Atlanta, they'd book, and then he'd leave to go home to Nashville. Right? Is that where he's living now, Nashville?
Yeah, down here in Nashville.
Somewhere he's leaving.
being called Nashville is a fucking disgrace.
Then Jeff and they changed things without letting me know. They were always working together, and I was 4 hours away. Then I felt like I wasn't even needed. It started to feel like a total waste of my time.
You weren't needed. No one wanted you.
Well, I also was like, why is Vince driving? Why is he doing this 4-hour drive? You can't do this over the phone? This is like a thing you got to be in person for?
He's fucking murdering himself. He's a fucking...
You can't do a phone, be on speakerphone and be like, who are we booking? What are we writing? You know? He's driving to Jeff's house and staying the night and all this stuff. Like, what is... These guys are cosplaying the Vince McMahon thing. That's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
I just asked Jeff if I could bow out of the creative and just let him and Dutch do it. Jeff gave me his approval. I was simply going to be a character on the show. Then Jeff and Dutch booked me in an angle with Dusty Rhodes over who was going to be the DOA, Director of Authority. Man, this was a huge disconnect for me. It meant so much for me to tell my story of change on TV. Now I felt I was just in another wrestling angle with Dusty. No disrespect. I just loathe wrestling angles. In my opinion, they're fake, boring, silly, unbelievable, and have been done a million times before. And I'm rubbing my temples. I'm going, what is he talking about?
Wrestling angles.
What is he talking about?
Loathe.
He books reality. He doesn't book wrestling angles.
Or he doesn't book. He what was that? He's
right.
What did he think was going to happen with the whole born again thing? And then they go, oh look, just be a character, and you're going to be in a feud with Dusty over being who's the authority figure. And he's like, man, oh no. And he's like, I can't do anything with it. Like, I don't understand where Vince is ever coming from. I mean, I do, but it's stupid. I'm looking for logic.
We said it last week. He always finds a reason to not do his job.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Big dog. Get my balls busted here in Nashville.
So yes, he does. I was what is it? I'm starting to become okay. Oh, this is he's born again. And he goes, as a Christian, I was now seeing the wrestling business for what it really was. All the negatives now seemed to be magnified. It was starting to become something that I didn't want to be a part of. I was finding it more and more difficult to stay true to God while working in a business that I just couldn't find many positives in at the time. What did I write here? Vince yammering about back in his day. Hey. I don't know. So he's going back to CD Warehouse with the dog man. And I like this. He gave Jeff Jarrett 2 weeks notice, like as if he's like a guy working at a Best Buy. Like they have all these plans and stuff like that. And, he's a on-air personality, and he's like, this is my 2 weeks notice. I hope you can find somebody to replace me. If you can find somebody.
3 days with the PTO.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could do business.
I will train them if they're here.
I want to be professional.
Jeff was shocked. They have a phone call. Towards the end of our conversation, Jeff looked at me and said, Vince, this is a really bad time. We found out a few days ago that Jill's cancer has returned. And now Vince is going, whoa. This is devastating. A few years earlier, while at the WWE, Jill had gotten breast cancer only to beat it and be cleared. Man, I was torn. I knew how much Jeff needed me, but I also felt I was being told by a source much greater than the both of us that it was time for me to leave. Conflicted and distraught, I assured Jeff that I would be there personally whenever he needed me, but professionally I needed to go. So let's really think about this. Vince is always like a friend is a friend that's when you're down and out. And Jeff Jarrett, and who knows his motive, said, "Hey, look, I need help booking wise, to leave the booking team. My wife has cancer. I won't probably, I need to be there for her. So to have you in the room." And then Vince is saying, "God told me, fuck your wife. And I'm there for you, whatever you need. But the thing you're asking me, bro, I cannot. You're having me in an angle with Dusty Rhodes. Why would God want that?" The fact that Vince Russo is a born-again Christian is like, God is concerned about pro wrestling and me is a strike against God, quite frankly. Let's see, where am I at here? Completely sure, Jeff. Oh yeah, this is also, I wrote, Vince never likes being questioned at all.
No, I kind of think that's why he leans into the religious thing. I think it's a fucking cop-out for just whatever bullshit he wants to run.
I did write, Jeff also likes a whipping boy in the creative team. I think I saw an interview with Jeff where he said, no matter what you could do wrong, no matter who it was, and he said even Kevin Nash knew this in WCW, Vince Russo is going to get the heat. So it doesn't matter what's bad in pro wrestling. Vince Russo gets it, and everybody knows it. And so they're it kind of had that vibe of like, and then everybody can just book shit and be like, fuck it, Vince will get the heat.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes, again, at this time, this was something I was being told to do. I had faith, but I only hoped that God knew what he was doing. And I wrote, why was Vince McMahon the only person Russo never had an issue with? He chafes with everyone else. Vince Russo is he only has the one at the end where he wants some money. He wants a little bit more, goose for everything he's doing. And, with SmackDown becoming, another show. And he has his little blowout with Vince, but then he tries to come back. But at the same time, everybody that is an authority figure, even like parallel to Vince, he's like, oh, he's itchy. God, I got to get out of here. I mean, he worked under Vince for what, 5 years?
Yeah. I don't know what you're trying to say, though. Why
is Vince such a personality that Vince would not even dare being like what? I'm curious to that. Like, of course, he didn't write about it. Why would you? It's interesting. The moment that Vince thought, you know what, I'm too big for my britches. All this, the attitude stuff, that's me. That's my output. Like, he never stands up. He says, he does say I'm responsible. Me and Ed are responsible for that. But like, point to it. Point to the specific things where you're like, those turns in your brain where you're going, wait a minute, Vince is exploiting me. I'm the one. Everybody else, when he goes on these creative endeavors, he's going, they're stifling me. This isn't what I want.
Yeah.
Why is it in WWE that was the perfect situation? Because then he also claims that Vince never... Why did he edit? Because he couldn't write. So why is that world perfect? No drama. He never heard about anything. But he won't... Is it just Vince being dumb and he won't give Vince credit for being like, Vince was the creative thing. So he wants that. And then when he actually is in head of creative, why he's stifled is because he's like, this isn't good. I need an out.
It sounds like when Jackie wanted to be billed as head writer on the Stern Show. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of words to say. Why was that the only time he was successful? I mean, he's not going to have a good response for that.
It's seared into. Yeah, I know. It's seared into his brain. Like, we're successful with this. This is the way.
I-
Now and
Literally,
forever.
Russo could have been anybody.
It's true. Ed
Yeah,
Ferrara.
that shit was so of the time. You know what I mean? That
The
he
fact
has
that
nothing to
he,
show that he could replicate that now in some fashion.
the fact that he said that Ed and him are just watching Jerry Springer and then like running to their notebooks and scribbling. Anybody that's like Vince Russo was there, he knows what's up. Him and Eric Bishop. Bro, are we really lauding these guys that were sitting in a room watching TV and going, "What if they were freaks on the show?"
I know, it's so low culture. I know, we don't have to respect these men.
But there are people. Look, I had a thing the other night where I was thinking about some comment, and then I know the exact Twitter response, like a Twitter degenerate response would be like, "Oh, it was about the Saturday night main event rating," and somebody going, "That's not too good. That's basically what they do on a SmackDown on network or a Raw on cable, no less, And then somebody going, "Yeah, okay, 2 million, that's right." I had in my mind, but there's that thing where there's always going to be somebody that's just like completely pilled out. I've lost the train of thought. What are we talking about here? Do we know what we're talking about? Am I on mushrooms right now?
You're detracting. I don't know. I don't know if the last few points you tried to make have not been cogent.
Well, okay. Well, you say that now, but then you're going to listen back and go, you know what? Actually, pretty good. Colin is either nodding or he's going, okay, next chapter. Okay. Ring of Glory, chapter 44. Without many options, and I wrote 0, I headed back to the CD warehouse. Vince claims he spent several months studying scripture. Do we believe it?
I don't know what that means.
He's looking at the Bible, he's reading scripture, he's studying it, he's thinking about its meaning. We believe this?
Fantasy baseball magazine is the scripture.
That's true.
The draft special.
Yeah, this subscription to Baseball Prospectus.
They're saying Justin Verlander is going to get how many strikeouts?
David Justice, Ruben Sierra, Robin Yount, Barry Larkin,
Robinson Cano. He's
You think Russo is a big Tim Lincecum fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course, he plays ball the right way.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what he liked? Probably was the
Good for being white.
You
was
can
the
understand his post-game interviews.
who was the reliever? Brian Wilson? Was that his name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the beard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Vince liked that.
That was a good gimmick.
He had the fake beard, that year, wearing it in the basement. So he's studying scripture. I really thought I had a grasp of who I was, what made me tick, why I did the things I did. And I was like, this is so, again, we read these dumb wrestling books, and I'm sure Vince Russo is like, I'm pretty cool in this book. I made my case. And then we read it and we're going, this guy's such a worm. Like, does he realize that he's writing here like what made me tick? Why I did the things I did. The more searching I did, the more digging. The more I peeled layer after layer of skin away from my body. And I wrote, he's the same guy. You watch his stream now? He's the same guy. He has no accountability for anything.
Yeah.
I was becoming a new creature. Things that once meant everything to me now meant nothing. and things that meant nothing now meant the world. So he's studying and praying for days. And then those days soon turned into months. Why would God place me in a business for almost 15 years only to have me walk away from it? Put a lot on God here.
Yeah.
What was the purpose? What am I supposed to do? God, what do you want me to do?
You're supposed to step up as a husband and a father.
Why have you shackled me to the wrestling business? Why can't I do anything else, God? Answer me. Imbue me with your knowledge. But this wasn't about me and what Vince Russo wanted. This was about God's purpose for me. I'm going to pause here because as you read this, one of two things is taking place. You're either A, saying that Vince Russo is a Jesus freak, or B, skimming through these words to get to the wrestling. And I wrote, pause. This isn't a movie, Vince. You're not looking direct to camera and going, let me pause. You're Zach Morris. Let me pause this right here. I'm like, I'm reading, man. You tell me. What's happening? Pause. Let me pause here for a minute. But hey, pardon these words, God. But screw the wrestling. So here we go again, where Vince is like, and he always spells it wrestling to be, dismissive. Wrestling. Boo, boo. You love me or hate me. I really don't care. I think you do, Vince. You're one of those guys that has to be liked. I can only be who God created me to be, and He created me to tell you about Him. And I wrote, have we learned anything about the teachings of Christ through Vince? Other than the teachings of Christ are He made him quit TNA. This is actually about life. The second that I began to put people before myself, that very second, whether it be my boss, Jeff, you left, my wife, troubles, my kids, again, they didn't want to move to Colorado, or the mailman. I was like, when has he in this book put somebody before himself?
Never ever.
My entire life changed. Once I took the focus off Vince Russo and put it on being a better human being, my entire life changed. He writes it again. I was like, wrote it again. You wrote my entire life changed twice.
Do you think Amy's father had to co-sign for the house with the Russos?
Oh, absolutely. Come on.
The Colorado house? The
Any of them.
Cars. I mean, yeah.
Once I took so screw wrestling. It's fake. Always has been, always will be. And I was like, how many times have we fucking gone to this, man? Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Time to move on. The answer I was looking for came in the form of a customer with a familiar face. It was Andrew Mincy. He'd worked with Vince in TNA. He's a friend of Jeff's and a member of the crack TNA working, quote-unquote, security staff. Andrew came into CD Warehouse, looked at Vince and said, Vince, God sent me here with a message. And then Vince does this bit where he's like, think about that. I hadn't talked to Andrew. I'm just here working at CD Warehouse. And he comes to me? Even though a majority of my last stuff in TNA was about me, talking to everybody about me being a born-again Christian, he comes to me not knowing any of that and says, I've got a message from God? How convenient. Vince, the reason you left TNA is because God wants you to start a ministry for Him. He wants you to take all the gifts that He's given you and use them to glorify Him, not Vince McMahon, and not some promoter looking to make a buck, but Him. Do we think Andrew Mincy said this in CD Warehouse, including all of Vince's villains,
Well,
Vince
it's not
McMahon and
strange though,
promoters.
because Vince said he was out to people that he was born again.
Mhm.
So it's not dependent on knowing that he studied the Bible for 3 months. The guy could have known to do that anyway. Hey, I could
That's what I
probably
said.
fucking get rich by latching on to Russo. I mean, that's what people have been doing with each and every business venture he goes into.
That's what I was saying. It was like Vince is acting like no one knew nothing.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden, out of the blue, Andrew Mincy shows up on his door with a message from God, and it's like, no, he knows you're the Jesus freak.
Yeah.
Or as he said, you probably think I'm a Jesus. Wow, Vince says after he hears that from Andrew.
Is he a worker,
Wow.
this kid?
He says he was working he was a fake security guy, so maybe he, you know what I mean? The working security.
So then he's just a guy, wanting to get some independent dates.
We'll have to keep an eye out for an Andrew Mincy on the Ring of Glory show. So Vince is like, hey, I didn't bite right away on his vision, but then he's thinking about it. God had placed me in the wrestling business for a purpose. Don't do this to God. God is Vince Russo must be in the wrestling business, good or bad. He must be.
What year was this?
2008?
You know,
There's nothing major going on in the world where
in
God's got time for this jerk off.
In Real Genius.
God, you know what, God? Fucking down there, pal.
This is the second time you're going to be quoting Real Genius.
Yes, when God is a stop playing with yourself. That's God, but he's going to Vince. You must book Deborah in a mud match. I want to see Deborah's tits, Vince.
Honestly, if I were God, oh man, I totally would do that though. Like, yeah.
Yes. I must see bra and panties. Bra and panties, Vince. Vince didn't know God was speaking to him at that time.
Amy.
Vince says, great. So what? I made a truckload of money. And I was like, wait, hold on. You said you lost a bunch of money. The CD warehouse. The blue chip stock stuff. You said you saved, but you were like, I can cover 100,000. But if that goes sideways, a truckload means you shouldn't even be debating the CD warehouse. You're like, fuck it, I'm burning money, bitch. Everything I did, the sex, the violence, the potty mouth stuff, was done to achieve ratings to please a person who may have thought he was God. And I was like, who, Jeff? Vince, Brad Siegel, Jerry Jarrett. I mean, who are you talking about? I know you're talking about Vince McMahon, but it's you've got many employers, my man.
Yeah, I don't know who he's referring to there.
It's Vince McMahon, where he's he thinks he's God Almighty up there. I don't know, he's Wawa. I don't know, he's at the Wawa, but but it's dude, you've worked for Brad Siegel. He wanted ratings. Jerry Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett. Why are you singling out Vince as these? You think you're God? He's written trash for everybody.
I know. Have we at least sought out a LinkedIn for Brad Siegel?
He has one. My LinkedIn is deactivated because it was bumming me out in a Luigi Maggioni sort of way.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, have you ever looked at LinkedIn, man? Have you ever been on there?
I mean, Brian Thompson, the CEO, was posting on there. That's sicko behavior to post on LinkedIn.
It's such a capitalist, bukkake, bootlicking, fletching, shit tsunami of just
speak on it.
Hell.
Yeah.
What does this make you feel?
But he is on there. So if anybody wants to reach out,
Well,
I can't be on there.
First, we reach out to the Death of WCW guys and go, what did you have to pay him to show up? Then we get that number in. We decide, do we want to purely, we say it's 10 minutes of your time. Brad, thoughts on Vince Russo, go. And if he's just like,
I think I've got poignant questions that he would love to answer, not to like.
When Vince Russo came to you and was like, what was the one
Tell
thing?
me what is going on? Like,
Tank
you hired
Gambit.
this guy, you're in charge of this giant division. Really, how many people in the world can you hire for this job? You just need someone to babysit this division.
What was
Day
the
one, you're like fielding fucking meltdown phone calls, and you're just trying to like navigate this fucking like
All the boys are working, yeah.
media merger in the time. And Vince Russo is like,
What was the one thing where he said, Vince, you're actually saving me money? Oh,
Like,
Hogan.
Hogan, yeah.
Hogan, yeah. Brad, let's go back. Hogan. Vince says you told him you're actually saving him money. What was your reaction when you had to take the call that Hulk Hogan was suing you because of something Vince Russo said?
yes.
Did you have like headache medicine? You put it in your hand.
Or this would be a gettable person, John Arezzi.
Who's John Arezzi?
He's the guy who Russo got into the business with. He hosted the radio show. And Russo would call into, and then Russo like became partners with him, like backdoored his way onto the show to be a regular. And then
You don't think
it was his press pass that got Russo to that steroid symposium, which got him his job.
Can you give me? Can you spell his name?
Yeah.
John.
Let's see.
It's got to be this guy,
Yeah,
right?
Arezzi.
John Rezzi's Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Yeah,
He?
He had a newsletter back in the day. He was a big wrestling nerd.
Is he pro wrestling media handsome?
He's a big guy. He's a big. He likes a big plate of pasta.
He's got a Patreon.
I've heard him
Does he have-
interviewed. I mean,
baseball
he'll tell the Russo stories.
From what?
Because you remember
Oh,
the steroid symposium, Arezzi was gonna on the show talk negatively about Vince, but Russo wanted to suck up to McMahon, so he didn't agree with it. So that's what they had their little falling out over.
Somebody should reach out to him on Twitter or Instagram. That's what he's got. We'll interview John Arezzi. He makes $397 a month on Patreon.
I think he's in the music business now.
57 paid members. He has 57 family members to pay for that. Wow. I'm doing the thing that we always do, where we want to interview something and we make fun of them.
I guess it's kind of sad. Like, you hustle at this for what, 30 plus years, and that's what you net out of it.
I mean, think about that. If we hustle for this for 30 more years, we'll get $300, but it'll be in 30 years plus now. It'll be essentially $5. Tough stuff.
Love it again.
So, they all think he's God. Oh, so he's like, so what I'd created was created for all the wrong reasons. That's why it finally came crashing down. And I was like, well, no, you quit WWE, you quit WCW, you quit TNA, you tried to go back to WWE. Like, what are you talking about? He's saying, oh, all the... What happened here? what happened here? You take away my camera?
Arezzi is on the Donahue show. Remember the Donahue wrestling show?
Oh, it's that guy?
He's wearing the sunglasses. He looks like a used car
Yeah,
salesman.
he is.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wow. He's still with us?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We can probably talk about foot wounds, I'm sure.
You motherfucker.
Tom Glavine.
Oh, I think I know what happened. Never mind.
Can we take a break?
This is the last long chapter, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
We will. Okay, let's take a break.
I was muted.
Oh yeah, what were you saying? You're just like, sounds interesting. Okay, here we go. Let's get through this. Ring of Glory here. This is what this is all leading up to. So Andrew and Vince Russo are speaking for hours in his store. Imagine people are walking up and be like, "Can I buy this Pearl Jam CD?" And he's like, "Bro, we're talking about Christ over here. Starting a ministry. Dogman, we're starting a ministry." You know, what Vince Russo didn't know anything about this guy, even though he worked at TNA. You know, he didn't know this guy. He said, not real well. And Andrew Mincy was a part of Power Team, a group of Christian strongmen who travel around the world sharing the word of God with youngsters. And I don't know.
Feels like it's straight out of Righteous Gemstones. What was the name of
The brother and they had all the fit guys.
Luge Ministry or whatever?
Dude, they had to have been ripping on this organization, right? It has to be them. I mean,
Yeah.
I wrote red flag right there. Somebody goes, I lift with a bunch of other guys and we travel around the world talking to children about lifting and also the word of God. And I'm like,
should you be concerned if your partner spends more time at the gym than they spend with you?
that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when people have a hobby and then they're delinquents and they're degenerates and then they become born again and they're like, what if I meld my hobby into this other thing? That I can't stand. Like, are there people like I hate to throw him under the bus, of David Duchovny, that are sex addicts and then they're born again? They're like, well, what if I fuck for God? Like, has that been done yet?
Oh, absolutely. Warren Jeffs.
Who's that?
He was one of the Mormon guys.
Oh, you're saying like that's the guy that polyamory, a guy that's a Mormon that's like, I fuck so hard. What if I fucked like for God?
Yeah.
Touché.
People have used God to justify everything. It's
I don't know. I'm right in the headspace for this. Let's talk about it.
Oh, are we talking about the metaphysical God? What are we talking about? The kayfabe God? I mean, there's
a guy. Let me bring it to Sopranos. There's a guy doing a little model train villages, and he's like, but what if it was about God too? And like, I brought people in, and we're all Christians, and we start talking about the Bible, but we also look at our trains and look how they go choo choo. We talk about that too. That's how it comes off, where it's like, bro, you gotta start a ministry. Yeah, you gotta start a ministry, but it's wrestling. And he's like, yes, finally.
How many people do you think are sincere in their pursuit and endeavor versus are just doing the work?
Man,
born again, I consider it very low.
Low sincerity?
Yeah.
I do too, yeah.
Or any belief. I mean, I don't
correct.
know. I think about it a lot.
But I also have the inverse thought where I'm like, man, would it be easier if I just did the work?
I feel like the number who would trust in their faith in the moment of crisis is like 5%. You know what I mean? When put to the test.
Some would say when you're in the trenches. What did you say, Gus?
We saw it in COVID. It was...
Yeah.
Has that kicked up? I feel like Christianity has been going down, which leave it up to Russo to pick a trend that's going down. But did COVID make more people religious?
Well, I feel like you're losing more Catholics than the non-denominational Christians. I feel like those are staying in the same number.
Yeah.
So it's a different counterbalance.
Our representative is right now getting lit up for somebody saying you have an option, the United States or Israel, one has to exist. And our representative tweeted, check out Revelations, then get back to me. Which I guess he says Israel. Also, I know this guy's office, and he has a I Stand With Israel poster that's been up there during this entire thing. Crawling around.
Okay.
So it's funny from the state that I'm in, for that our representative is just like, I fucking die for Israel fucking right now. Fucking. He's like, what? Yeah. What the fuck is your deal, dude?
That crop who love Israel, that's an interesting crop. I have one of my best friends, his mom, they don't speak because of it. She wanted to be called, what's the Jewish grandma name? Bibi or whatever. She wanted to be
called Netanyahu?
She wanted to be called whatever the name is for grandma. And the kids we're not doing this shit anymore. None of this Israel love anymore. And it's
Can we get Sudi on to talk about his parents and where they stand?
You just need to watch
Religulous
Saturday.
I don't know if I'm having a stroke or Larry just got blurry.
Oh, I did.
Oh, fuck, you started speaking the truth. It's fucking,
what's happening?
Mossad? Am I a bad person for literally saying, I don't give a shit?
You don't look, Gus is on record, the Middle East and him. It's
FUBAR.
I love your food. I'm not gonna destroy my relationships with people over.
You're saying if Sudi came to you and said Israel or nothing, that you would still be friends with him?
I stand with nobody, and if it's of communication, that's fine, but I'm not gonna be swayed by anything. I stand with no state.
I don't think any of those are religious, though. I feel like all of the Mideast stuff is all just class. Because the rich Muslim states don't beef with Israel. Saudi Arabia doesn't.
Yeah.
We're talking about class.
Yeah.
I'm fucking fist pumping over here. I'm fucking, yeah, here we go.
Religion's just the pretext to justify your angry thoughts, in regards to
someone's keeping the man down, and I'm not a fan.
Look at those weapons contracts.
I heard on Sudi on a recent game he called. He was like, and he called it out. He was like, and this team is deader than the thousands upon thousands of Gaza children.
Your audio now I'm getting fucking freaked out.
Wilson's is frozen.
On that? Are we good?
I am fucking freaked out now. No way.
Hang on.
No way.
Right?
Wait, Wilson. Now you are.
Ventura.
Gus is going Ventura. I have a shitty connection.
This has never happened, though.
I'm talking about Israel and Gaza, and that happens?
What? Come on, guys.
Yeah, remember when Terry's computer started running slow?
Oh, no.
You guys don't have anything fucking better to do?
Wait, but
I have some fucking children's hospitals you should be taking care of.
The StreamYard.
Time with.
The StreamYard AI, it's like,
awesome. They keep talking about Gaza. The Freemasons are listening.
Oh, I'm Team Freemason, I think.
Wait, or is it because I brought up Sudi?
This is media.
Sudi tweeting in the Discord. Is that a thing? Tweeting in the Discord. I own stock in StreamYard.
Did I tell you guys my chaotic investment strategy?
Yeah, what's that?
So every couple of weeks, I take $100 think of something that's bumming me out in the world, like private prisons.
Yeah.
Look up stock in that category.
Yeah.
Invest.
Yeah. I like it. It's smart.
I can't lose, right?
Invest in water. Nestle. Get it. I cannot wait to do this from a bunker that Gus has procured.
Who was the big short guy? Michael.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale, whatever his name is. That's what he did. Invested in water at the end of the movie.
I like that.
Should I watch Waterworld? I've never watched it.
Yeah,
Dennis
sure.
Hopper's in it, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll
Okay,
at least
Dennis
get
Hopper.
that.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I'll check that out sometime.
So, are we ready for this? An hour in. Vince asked the question that many of us have asked. Is it possible to put on a wrestling show that would glorify God?
No one's ever asked that 'cause that's a fucking stupid question.
Well, Vince knows it would. Heck, I knew it was. I'd be the
Roman
one.
Coliseum.
Why is Vince so confident? Because he's writing it. Bring professional wrestling into a church? That's out there, man. So they find Jamie Chant. I sent you guys some stuff of Jamie Chant and his son Noah. They're still at it. They have the Covenant Life Worship Center in Chickamauga, Tennessee.
Chickamauga.
Or that the Young Bucks are aware of this. Chickamauga, Tennessee. Who is it? Jamie is described as a hip pastor. A hip pastor.
Oh, man.
It doesn't hurt that his young son Noah was an avid wrestling fan. And again, if you Google Noah,
Was he named after
Ant.
the Japanese promotion? Who's a big Sawa guy.
Yeah.
My son Noah.
Jamie, that's why he's so eager to have wrestling in. It'll be Jamie Chant the pastor be like, it'll be like Noah, right? Yeah, bro. It'll be like your son.
And
So yeah, if you YouTube Jamie Chant and Noah Chant, they come up. They're still around. So, but now Vince has to bring in performers. He's looking for two things: those who had good hearts, and those who I felt could benefit from a show such as this. Such as this. So, Ring of Glory is now a historic event. That's to Vince. This is an historic event. The aspect of ROG would be to spread the word of God.
I was thinking about this. The name is so fucking lazy. Like, come on, man.
Well,
Your Ring of Honor is an established brand. You can't just like.
we're not only I got it. We're not only going to honor him, bro. We're going to glorify him. That's the difference. So, in hindsight, so he's talking about like people, like wrestlers that are shitbags with like addiction issues and shit. In hindsight, I was hoping that ROG could be something of a safe haven for them. So when we watch this Ring of Glory show to celebrate the birth of baby Jesus next week for Christmas, we got to label the roster when we see a guy. Is he there because he has a good heart? Or is he there because he needs Jesus?
Chunky piece of shit.
It would just basically good heart needs Jesus.
Do you think that's his way of retconning him
Booking
hiring
X-Pac.
guys on the cheap that are names, but you can get for like just a tenth?
You think he's saying X-Pac needs Jesus or X-Pac has a good heart? Or Percy
I think
Pringle for that matter.
I think X-Pac has got bills and needs.
Needs Jesus at that time in his life.
Yeah, no, that's a guy. Yeah, that's the
See,
plug.
I can't wait to play this game. I don't even know some of these people. I guarantee some of these will be nobodies. So it's February 20th, 2004. Ring of Glory was officially born. About 500 people packed into the Covenant Life Worship Center, which I looked up, and it only holds 300 people. I think I sent it to Lair to you guys. And I was like, this.
Well, if it's configured,
And they
It was set
witnessed
up
a
for 300
miracle.
people.
They witnessed a miracle. In his entire career, there had never been an event so meaningful. He'd never been so moved in my 43 years on the planet. It was about the people who came to see what ROG was all about. To Vince Russo, it was all about the boys, the word that he hates, because boys intones that you're taking advantage of them.
if this was happening in your backyard, would you check it out just to see the train wreck, or you'd be too embarrassed to?
I know.
That's
I
a
always-
tough question.
I always have that battle when it comes to seeing Jericho. And I always choose to stay home. I think I would go to it.
Yeah. I mean, definitely at this point in time, but I don't know if I would have.
But then again,
10 years ago, I don't know.
I don't know.
I would go. Go ahead.
I had an old roommate. There's drug ministries, like they run a rehab, and then you join the ministry, and you know, you go out into the community and you feed the homeless. And I have an ex roommate who is in that now, and it's such a fucking carny business.
I would go if you could get somebody to go with you. I'm not going alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can have someone to be there for the experience.
It feels like somewhat related. I always wanted to go to the Scientology Center by me, but then I was I was so frightened that they'd win me over that I didn't go.
Oh yeah, I am so ripe for that. Once you start talking about the Sea Org babes and I almost bought a vintage e-meter off of eBay the other day. The price wasn't too bad, actually.
You should buy that and then show up at a church and be like, "I'm good. I did it myself. Look at this. I'm old. Look at this. I did it."
Yeah. And be like, "Listen, I've come from the future past."
Oh yeah.
No thetans on me.
We need to get back to the basics. But
No things on me.
I would love to work that so hard. That'd be so fun.
I would love to run a cult. I think that's the one thing that everyone knows about me that they're concerned about. I would love to run a cult. Who's with me?
Oh yeah, no. I'm just thinking about leveraging existing infrastructure here. That might be a good play.
I just like that everybody just hanging out. We're just hanging out. Don't worry about it. Hey, contact me through the Workers Club if you're interested in this. There will be purity.
Did you see that one? The guy who was trying to recreate Atlantis in the middle of the Nevada desert.
No,
and he invited people to come live there as a commune. And then a woman got sick that night, and it was already terrible conditions. They couldn't take a living in the desert.
Well, yeah.
No, that sounds good.
Wait, why did he think Nevada was the place to recreate Atlantis?
Yes, this was asked.
Listen, from the desert comes.
That's a Vince Russo idea. It's because they wouldn't expect that to be in the desert, bro. That's why it's buried there. And you're like, fuck. Oh no! What are you reading, Larry?
I was looking for it, but I can't find it.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, here we go. Where are we at? Okay. Oh yeah. So okay. That little show in that little church in Chickamauga was better than any WrestleMania I'd ever attended. It wasn't about the money. The boys did it for a minimum. Pastor Jamie, the church, and myself didn't benefit one thin dime. Wasn't about the
So you didn't break even. That means it was a failure. That's telling on yourself.
He says this show was not about the first show, which is not available to anybody. This show wasn't about sex and violence because there was no ratings to achieve for a greedy promoter. So
Wait,
there
so
better
why is
not
he
be
saying,
any on that next show.
I don't like that he said me and Amy didn't benefit, because that also implies that Amy shares in the failure, which I don't think she should.
No. Well, no, he says Pastor Jamie. The church didn't make any money either.
Oh, not Amy. Pastor
No.
James.
But Amy, by it is his wife. Vince isn't making any money either. So he says nobody made any money. Some of you reading this will never and could never understand that, Larry.
What?
Can't understand what he's trying to do here with ROG. Gus,
I was going to
honestly,
say Jimmy Rave was on the show.
Oh, that's a
Need Jesus, right?
I mean, yes, but also
good heart.
You think Vince paid him in Percocets?
no question.
Hey, Amy, I need your prescription.
No.
I was just gonna say it was
Vince Russo in a folding chair.
United Healthcare is coming back, and they're denying the claim. Got to get this sorted.
It'd be Vince Russo in the back trying
Luigi.
to have a
Cousin
Bible
Luigi.
study. He's trying to have a Bible study with Jimmy Rave.
Oh my God.
He's sitting in a chair. He's holding like Jimmy
He's
Rave's trying to
nodding
get
off.
Jimmy Rave's trying to get his boots on, and he's like, "Hold hands with me, bro. Thank you for the air in our lungs." Jimmy Rave's just like, "Okay, all right."
You think there's catering at these shows?
Amy, did you bring what I asked you to bring? Deli meat, right? Deli cheese.
It's
bread.
definitely the grocery store like bulk potato, like on the
Vince is pulling out of the fruit tray. I've never had cantaloupe this good, bro. Who bought this? Where's this from?
Amy, get in here. Isn't she wonderful?
Got it from the Winn-Dixie.
Yeah. Rushing to the arena. It's like, fuck, I should have done this last night.
When Dixie was the whole reason he was in this mess in the first place.
Some of you reading this will never get it, and they could never get it. They'll never understand it. And honestly, I feel sorry for you because you're missing.
That's a failure on your part as an author.
No, he feels sorry for you. You guys don't get what he's trying to put down with Ring of Glory. From there, I was on fire for both God and Ring of Glory. If it was left up to me, I would have been doing a show every week in a different city. But it wasn't up to me. It was all in God's hands. For whatever reason, only He knows why. Our biggest cross.
It's in God's hands.
Our biggest cross to bear became the churches themselves. They just couldn't comprehend putting church and wrestling in the same sentence. That's a lot to take in, where Vince in his mind is like, we're a traveling ministry show. We go town to town, arena to arena, doing God's work. That's what I wanted. Like, where's that leap? That shows a disconnect with reality with Vince, where he's like, if I had it my way, Ring of Glory would be the WWE. It's like, that's not how wrestling works. That kind of level?
That's not how America works, man.
I mean, Dave will tell you, how many times has there been two promotions at a national level? Don't get them started on why there can only be one.
I'm with Dutch. Punch Dave in the fucking cannolis.
So Vince is going to churches and going, wrestling plus church. Boom. And they're going, pass.
Yep.
Well, perception is reality, and those people simply look down their nose at it. It's beneath them. It is silly. They're not wrong. What did I say? Why can't you run the church over and over? That's common. Donate to church. Show. What the fuck am I talking about? Why can't you run the church over and over? Oh, why can't you run the one church? Just run that show and just have a local audience, and they're donating to the church and to you, and you already have the one church. Just do that church and build it up, and then word of mouth or whatever, you know.
Yeah, you could definitely do just like a local. Actually, now that I think about it, I feel like back in Chicago there was like a promotion that like ran with like a local like Catholic diocese or something. But like in history, like this idea's been done before. You gotta be I know there was people back in like 200 BC like putting on stage performances and like morality tales and plays. Like it's been done, man.
That church would be mad if you just ran the show once a month and did $20 donations, you know, to the church as a ticket, and then Vince gets pulled in and takes a cut, you know, becomes a church member. I don't understand why he's like, no, the only way this thing works is if we're doing house shows on the road and maybe there's cameras. Because he goes, the church is
it's like with Al with the weekly fucking TV. Like Matt's like let's just be a touring Kentucky thing, lean into our like audience, and
now you're making me flash back to Al with his arms folded, being like, we're touring around and getting all these people interested. What about my nobody watches longest running TV show in Ohio? What about that?
Al, listen, Shear's concerned with the inauguration, and we gotta get moving.
I know. I can't believe we're being preempted again. The life of a TV producer. Okay.
Al nods off for 20 minutes.
He's about to get hired by AEW. That's where I'm at with AEW. Al's about to be brought in for storytelling. Tony.
I would take Hollywood Haley J versus Amazing Maria over whatever's going on in the women's division.
I would love just go full trash.
Okay.
How's
bring in Haley's boyfriend?
That guy?
The guy in the car.
Eric Darkstorm?
He's TV champ level. I'd put him there all day. He'd draw heat.
You don't like me because I'm sexy. You wish you had my loose dreads.
Oh my god, could you imagine sorry, I'm like turning into one of those people right now, but like he just interrupts like Haley J's match and like, I'm the one who should be getting the attention, like just go full trailer park, yes.
Oh, okay. Now I'm picturing Paul Levesque watching that Netflix series with his, again, he's tenting his fingers. He's like, so many missed opportunities. It's when you see the whole.
Hear like the Tough Enough reboot thing they're doing with like the Legends. I think like fucking
Legends and Legends and Future Greats. LFG, not Let's Fucking Go. Legends and Future Greats.
All I saw was Bubba Ray's on it, and I'm like, no, thank you.
Bubba Ray's just gonna go. You gotta get heat, bro. But then, it's also, aren't you excited? Because then the coaches are gonna get mad at the kids, right? Mm-hmm. Mark Calloway's gonna be like, you know why I made money in this business? Because I thought it was real. I lived it.
I kept my mouth shut. Never talked about the weird shit Vince had me do and eat.
They're nodding. And so then they go to Sean or Paul as mentors, quote unquote mentors. And Paul gets to, in this business. You know, when Sean going, I was crazy. I mean, nobody wanted to work with me.
I was the one who caught the heat for standing up for what I believed in.
And
But now look at me.
I bet Paul goes, and then some guy, I can't speak to who, said, you're going to eat shit and learn to like the taste of it. And I can't speak exactly to who said that to me in the company, but it was somebody that I knew.
Listen, we got more numbers than the NBA on
I know, yeah.
ABC.
Do you want to be on the #1 original programming on Twitter, also now known as X? This is where you need to be.
We're excited to lose all transparency into the strength of our products starting January 6th, and it's a unique opportunity.
Now I know Michael Hayes isn't.
Now, can we just work Russo into this so that I can?
I know. Well, listen back. I was gonna say, no, Michael Hayes is sitting there. He's invited into these meetings, I'm sure. All the important Netflix meetings. Michael
My
Hayes
first
was
idea
invited.
was Russo pitches turning Charlotte into the executive, which is Russo thinks they're still on USA, so he wants to make a Bonnie Hammer
Oh my god!
stand-in, and she's a total bitch. And then Michael Hayes objects to changing Charlotte Flair's entire gimmick right now.
Russo would have like no context to like what Charlotte has done, what she has meant.
And then what if Russo wants to bring Sable back? See,
I think it's time we address the elephant in the room. Sable's gonna shoot on me.
Okay, well, so can I just read this real quick, or is it bad that? Oh, I see. Okay, you're changing your. Okay. Well, no, I won't read it. Yeah, Larry wanted, and I wrote erotica, and I give it to Larry to abuse
I wanted
myself.
Wilson to punch up my script, and he wrote erotica.
Larry's like, what can you do with this? And this is what I wrote. Here, I'll just write that part. Now it's Paul Levesque and Michael Hayes, okay? And Vince Russo is talking to them.
What spawned this?
Larry sending me something
I want to
going.
make a teleplay, audio thing of a Russo booking meeting, like coming back and booking his return show.
And then Wilson ruined it and curved it up.
Yeah.
No. I punched it up a little bit.
I just had AI write a script just to give us a format. And
Gotcha.
we write around it, and Wilson just made it all about gay.
Okay, well, so
Yeah.
no. Look, Paul Levesque and Michael Hayes are talking to Vince Russo. And
My wife
Paul
was
Levesque,
appalled. I had to stop reading it. I censored myself.
Look, Paul Levesque is talking about long-term storytelling. Vince Russo, long-term, short-term. What is this, airport parking? Who cares? If we don't get the audience talking right away, I'm telling you, man, we lose them. They want to be surprised. They want to see something they've never seen before, bro. The three men exchange glances with each other, the air thick with tension. Up All Night by the Boomtown Rats starts to play.
God damn it, this fucking...
Bro, is this really going to happen? Paul and Michael stand without saying a word. They undress in silence. Vince watches with a look of dumb surprise. Once undressed, Paul and Michael make their way around the table towards Vince. Vince is frozen and nervous. Paul grabs at Vince's San Francisco Giants jersey and tears it away with one hand. A little moan escapes Vince's lips. Michael bends Vince over the table, holding him face down with one hand. And Paul grabs around the waist of Vince's Levi blue jeans and pulls him down in one movement.
Why do we got into the brand of the jeans?
It made me laugh. Paul rips a hole in Vince's dingy white briefs. Paul goes to town with Vince. After a few, I don't want to get graphic. After a few minutes, he switches with Michael. Vince is panting, his eyes fluttering, rolling back a bit. He's emotionally buzzed and physically punished.
Stop! That is the worst phrase I've ever heard.
Michael Hayes, grunting rhythmically, "You ain't in New York City anymore, boy. You're in Stanford," which I thought was so funny because it's so close.
Was that AI?
No, that's it. After a half hour of this, Michael and Paul both finish on Vince's back. Vince slumps back in his chair. Well,
Half hour? Damn, boy can go.
no. Oh, it's a half hour? I did. Enter CM Punk.
More like Seaman Punk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn, I gotta go back to rewrites. So I think you should just put all that in there. I don't see what's wrong. I sent you. And then you like, no erotica. Swerve!
The Boomtown Rats, huh?
That got me.
I like that song.
Come on.
And you better believe I was listening to it while I wrote it. And repeat. And repeat that song again. And then listening to it. And then it auto plays Boomtown Rats interviews. And they're like, yeah, the troubles in Ireland, yeah, the youth, they really speak to us. You know, I'm writing, CM Punk eats out Vince Russo's asshole.
I'm just reading these other paragraphs again. Listen here, you dirty fucking wop bastard. The business has been around long before you ever crawled out of your ever-living mama. God.
Oh, man.
Hey, Freebird.
Hey, Freebird. As usual, you're not even listening. Let me say it for the gazillionth time, loud and clear for everybody. The business needs to evolve.
Can we work Gentleman Chris Adams into this?
Oh, he's definitely gonna get fucked. I like this that the AI said this. Here, this is what happened. I did.
Say the sentence. Say that sentence that.
Oh, no. Well, I looked at the AI wrote. Suddenly, everyone freezes, a lull in the room before Stephanie steps up. Stephanie McMahon raising her hands, and then I wrote. She then lowers her hands onto Vince's cock.
Stop! No.
She.
You know how much like energy Microsoft is reactivating 3 Mile Island so we can.
That's what I do with AI writing. She raised her hands and then she puts them down on a cork. And I wrote, she works to get that ruddy worm turgid. Colin. She looks at Phil. That's CM Punk. Phil undresses and walks behind Vince, once again dropping to his knees. Phil proceeds to ravenously eat out Vince Russo's asshole.
Ravenously.
I love CM Punk. He's great. Okay, here we go. We're still in the first chapter. Oh no. So pastors think that wrestling is X-rated and vile. Whoops. And he's like, perception is reality. It's like, you wrote that stuff. That's you. You're responsible. So churches wouldn't even allow us to get in the ring. And they wouldn't let us in the door. And to be honest, much of it was also political. And I was like, what's this now? The financial patrons, donors, and contributors of the church have thought, if the head pastor had made the decision to bring that wrestling into their church, would they have pulled their money out? So, like everything, it came down to dollars and cents. Oh, I was like, whatever you need to tell yourself. Yeah, Vince invents a conspiracy where major donors to a church are like, I heard you're bringing wrestling into our church. I'm sorry. I will have to pull my donations, and then your church will cease to exist. That's why that was happening. People are whispering. And once again, Vince, who hates paranoia, people are machinations are at work, leading to his downfall. So in wanting Ring of Glory, ROG, to move forward, I put Plan B into effect. I'd rent out an arena myself. Again, he says he's
Amy
wealthy.
wishes she put Plan B into effect.
Amy, I need to put ROG in an arena. 1, Vince, stop calling it ROG. 2, How much money? Why can't it just be the church? Because it's got to look like the real... That's what he would say. It's got to look like the real thing. And it's like, on TV? That's what it has to be in an arena? Because it has to look like what you... That's not...
I would lean into the biblical story and kind of make, like...
Do it outside!
Yeah, soft ground wrestling, man, but those boys are...
What river did Moses float down? Do it in the river!
Exactly. Like, come on, let's be creative.
That might not be an accurate reference. I don't know. Did Moses float down a river? Larry,
Yeah.
you're a religious expert.
Yeah, as a baby, they put him in a basket.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right again. So, the second ROG show, which we will be watching, is held in the Rome Civic Center in Rome, Georgia. This might be another one where I was like, I looked up the building. He's wrong. This was the first time I ever attempted to promote an event on my own. I recruited a good friend of mine, TC. We spent day and night shaking hands, kissing babies, and papering the town with flyers. Can you imagine Dogman during that time at the CD warehouse? Rome Civic Center. Ruff, ruff.
He's got a new hire, senior in high school. He's showing her how to close the store. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's having a great summer.
He's like, you like wrestling? Yeah, it's popular. And maybe you learn something along the way. Ruff, ruff. Like, wait a minute. What does that mean? So they're doing what he's saying. I like that he puts it also kind of like to a mayor, shaking hands, kissing babies. It's like, wait a minute, no, you're just promoting a show. Go on a radio show, my man.
I'll put up some posters in the comic book stores.
By the way, TC, he's a true blue collar guy, a man's man. He grew up on the mean streets of Boston. That's it. He's got a heart of gold. Vince loves putting himself next to these kind of like hard-working men, these hard-working scrabblers, you know?
Yeah, because they're everything he ain't.
Yeah, not the rich dads who got it all, but the sons. They're trying to earn something here in this business.
Eric Watts.
At the end of the day, results weren't too shabby. Over 800, and I like triple underline this because I was like, the Rome Civic Center does not hold that. Over 800 people showed up to witness Ring of Glory 2, the Great Commission. The result.
I wonder if it's the Observer.
I think I tried to look. I don't know. I didn't have any luck if I did.
I remember hearing about them when they happened, but then just nothing else. Just as a blurb, Vince Russo is doing this, and
Yeah.
So it was rewarding, the second Ring of Glory show, because there's no doubt in Vince Russo's mind, God himself had his hands all over it. He's been doing hundreds of shows, and every single one he was stressed out about. Except those 2 Ring of Glory shows. They simply ran themselves. I was never more at peace in my life.
99?
Was that?
Was he at Over the Edge 99? Or was he out by that time?
Oh, he was there.
So he wasn't stressed out during Over the Edge 99 when his good friend Owen was dead?
No. Well, Vince was running those shows.
Okay.
God
Cool.
is running these. Well, they're running themselves because of God.
Why wasn't God running that show?
Don't ask Vince that, because he already thinks that. Well, so okay. So think about this. God put Vince Russo in wrestling for a purpose. Vince Russo killed Owen Hart, allegedly, according to Roddy Piper. So God himself wanted Owen to die in that indignant way.
I was able to make the argument to myself that Russo is responsible for the death of Nancy and Daniel Benoit.
How many bodies? How many bodies, Vince?
Maybe if WCW stayed on the air, the hijackers, they're down in Florida. They're so goddamn enamored with the product.
They go down. They buy a
They're like,
ticket.
Skipper, loving it. Norman Smiley, I can't. I love America. Hacksaw is,
I like this.
giving his glory.
I like this alternative reality.
9/11 doesn't happen because Vince Russo does his job and he's competent.
Joe Biden doesn't happen.
Oh no, we're in Gore Town for sure.
Oh, you think Gore would be different? That's interesting. Filing that away.
Come on,
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Where are we at here? Okay, I'm still so okay. Great Commission. Sorry. They ran themselves. I was never more at peace in my life. There was no yelling, screaming, swearing, or sweating. Just tranquility. And by the way, guess who showed up at those shows? Jeff Jarrett.
He's like, I can't wait to watch this guy eat shit. Let's
Well,
see how he likes it.
Vince, who after telling Vince, Vince telling Jeff, I gotta go. God's telling me I gotta leave. Chef Jarrett shows up to his God shows, and Vince says, I really appreciate him being there, especially knowing of Jill's condition and what he and his entire family were going through.
Come here, Peanut.
Well, remember when Jeff Jarrett was like, my work may suffer because of my family crisis. Vince, I really need you right now. And Vince was like, bro, God himself. Well, despite the success of the Great Commission, I had to be both sensible and realistic. What do you think about that? The success of the pay-per-view? What was it? A DVD? How does he know? The ticket sales?
He doesn't measure success by. It's about getting the word out.
Well, in classic Vince Russo fashion, he writes that, despite the success, well, then I had to add up all the expenses from the show. And it was actually $10,000 of my own money. I like that.
We gotta let big dog go.
When you write the words "my own money," you still have there's something lingering around that phrase of $10,000 of my own money. Okay?
What do you think that implies?
Bitterness.
Oh yeah, for sure.
My own money. My money.
But if it's God's plan...
Well, do you want the God's honest truth? I didn't care 1 second about the cash. Not even 1 New York minute. That's where it should have been. To me, it was simply an investment in God's kingdom. But the harsh reality was that I couldn't afford to keep financing the shows myself. Not at $10K a pop. That's 10 shows, right? At $100,000 that he has in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to keep the concept alive. I continued to canvass churches for support. But it just wasn't there.
Well, that's so ignorant of them, though, because they're going to be like, okay, what have you done? And then it's going to be like, beaver cleavage.
Well, check this out. He did a church. They had a lot of people, he says. To the point that they do another show, but he's like, it's got to be an arena. We got to film it, and we're going to sell it on DVD, blah, blah, blah. It's not church-related. It's just about God, right? We haven't watched the show. Then he goes to other churches, and what does he say? Yeah, we went to the Rome Civic Center. Well, yeah, we did this other church, but we won't do it. What's his pitch? Does he give him the DVD? And he's like, watch this, but it's in your church.
I can't wait to watch this so we can just, be like, this is what he was swinging.
This is in the name of God. like I said, if Larry goes on his little journey, he might all of a sudden we end the show and he's going, guys, I've heard the word, then the good word.
I just talked to him.
I hope there's like a new book, like the Book of Larry.
He's
It's
like,
time for it to be written.
and I quit the podcast and fuck you guys. And
we lean into it, and that becomes this becomes the kayfabe god.
Actually, I've been thinking about it. You guys are the enemies, and you've been trying to tear me down. Oh no!
You're being an SP.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh no! He's not. What god is he talking to? So not even my home church was interested, which is also a stupid thing to write. Not even my home church with the guy that hates gays. When my own pastor from my own church told me, Ring of Glory isn't for us, not only was I devastated, I was also defeated. But then he thinks about Ring of Glory. I ask myself, what if? What if I continue to go forward? Where would we be now? On the other hand, I fully understand that where I am now is where God wants me to be, but what if? But God knows the big picture. And I still don't have a clue. And that's where I wrote, Vince Russo is the one guy who can't sucker people into money with religion. He couldn't make a buck with religion. Which, I mean, you can't even be as big of a carny as a evangelist. You can't turn that corner. You can't get that going. You can't fake it till you make it. There you go, fake it. But also the thing too, where he's like, "What would Ring of Glory be now?" And it's like, "Well, yeah, speak on that. Where do you see it, there, Vince? What's your vision of Ring of Glory if you keep going? You're what, a traveling ministry show? Benjamin Button is walking across your stage. What's happening here?"
All right, I have two things. I found the week after the Piper Russo thing, Piper was on Observer Live.
Oh boy! Oh
well, I found it on the archive, so I'm gonna listen to it later. But we're not gonna finish tonight.
No, we are. No, we can do it.
No.
You don't think so?
We've covered so few pages.
Well, let's see. Let's see how far we get. And maybe we just do a little bit and then the Ring of Glory show. Let's see how far we get. Can you keep going or are you tapping?
No, I'm not tapping.
We've only done one chapter.
I know.
The Return of David Arquette, chapter 45. So he's back at CD Warehouse. He's working...
hang on. To get my attention, can I play something for you?
Yeah, sure.
It's related. Okay.
Yeah.
This is from a documentary about what Russo's trying to do. It's a wrestling ministry. And it's a wonderful documentary, but there's a celebrity cameo in it, and I found it.
Yeah. By the way, just title this episode, We Didn't Finish Russo. Just so people out of the gate.
Okay, we're good there? Okay.
AJ Styles and Dr. Death join the CWF tour.
I love this music.
You know anything about wrestling, Vince McMahon, maybe I shouldn't have said his name, but the fact of the matter, there's no other wrestler except for his. So now's the time for any wrestling organization to come up out of nowhere, and with the CWF, God's going to make it work.
I feel like nothing could touch us right now. I don't believe that God is doing something special. And I think what's big is happening.
Well, who's this guy?
I see that he's grabbing these guys in the group and drawing them closer. This is a real testimony to Dr. Death.
Oh my God!
Cuts to Dr. Death laughing maniacally in a bus. It's great. It's like, the guy that will lead us to Jesus is Dr. Death, cutting to him just laughing like an insane person.
Oh my
He
god!
probably just took his morphine pills.
I feel nothing. Finally, my sweet release for 30
He's got
minutes.
he's got a good quote coming up.
Federation is minuscule to what he does, and he's having the best time of his life.
He's
I
having.
worked for WWF, and WWF wanted me to go out there and shoot the finger to the world.
Shoot
grab
the
my
what?
jewels.
Finger.
I've been in the business 22 years.
And grab his
I never
jewels.
have had to do that.
Too close to the mic,
Most
Steve.
fans
Too close to this
in this
mic.
business are children, and we're idols. We're heroes. I have got a
He's
lot of
so
children
heavy-lidded.
that follow me. And I got a little boy that's my little Jesus. And
There are
if he
heroes.
drink a beer and flipped off the world, he'd go, if my dad can do it, I can do it. Or if my fans, hey, Dr. Death can do it, I can do it. I don't
No
want
one
that
thinks
influence
that.
on.
Nobody
I got
has.
it all.
No. What?
I got the blood of Jesus all over me, man. I'll tell you what, nothing's going to happen to me today.
This God, I would have loved to have experienced one of those shows. That would have been such a trip.
But you know what's fun is that it turns out there's politics among it.
Of course, there is.
Like the
There's-
guy who's in charge of it always books himself on top, and his wife is a real heel too. So it's fun.
You think Vince
I'm gonna have to
eventually
check
would
it
have been like, oh my God, yeah. Vince is kicking back in the basement thinking, and then I would have been like an authority figure going, guys, he's holding up the Bible. Go, let's all pray. And then my wife, Amy, comes out. Amy, I'm bringing you into my world, my little world.
Brought
You
the
think he
kids
would have done
into
it? Yeah. If you think Amy goes in and, you stop this. That's not the word of God.
I don't know.
The return of David Arquette. He's back at CD Warehouse working side by side with Dogman. And then he goes on this thing where he's like, we're going through our day-to-day lives, getting our Starbucks, playing fantasy sports, which is like him. That's specifically him. Eating dinner, watching The Office, going to bed. He's like, is that what it's all about? He just described his own life, and he's like, don't you want more? He goes, you can choose to live your life believing that, but not me. And it's like, you described your life. You even put fantasy sports in there. That's what you do. He goes to, he wakes up, he goes to Starbucks, he plays fantasy sports, he eats dinner, and then he watches The Office, and he goes to bed. But he wants to know, Gus, do you want more?
What?
No respect. I said, Gus, do you want more than that? Is that what you're doing? Do you want more?
No, I'm good.
Well, you know, with CD Warehouse
I
dying
think
a
it's good
slow...
life.
Well, not to Vince. Even though he described his life, not to him. He's also suffering from existential dread. I think Vince said we can diagnose that. So even with CD Warehouse dying a slow death, which we talked about last week, guy buys this kind of business with the invent of digital media. I wasn't worried. I knew God had my back, even when I had to let Dogman go. Or in search of redder hydrants. Redder. Not more red. I don't know. Is it more red? Am I wrong? Is it reddest?
I
That's
never
racist.
know when to use either one.
Redder. I know I
Yeah.
got lit up in. I got lit up in as a kid for. I said more funny, and my dad was like, "It's funnier."
I don't know what the rule is.
But now I see more funny. I think it's fluid too. I don't know. Speak on it, Vince. But he can't afford to. I can't afford to pay him. I wasn't concerned even then. It was all part of his plan, God's plan. I wrote, the family loves hearing this. Vince is like, I had to fight a dog,
I mean,
man.
why do anything then? If your
Right.
decisions are part of God's, you just stay at home and shit where you are, and just don't even become. Not even.
That's
you know
not
what I mean?
God's plan to
How
shit
do you-
in a
how
bucket
do
at
you know
home.
if it happens? It apparently is.
You think he's pulling down his trousers and taking a shit and be like, God's plan. I had to eat the
I don't know
wings
where
last
the
night.
line is.
Well, it's when you feel it in your heart. And so I'm sure Dogman was very supplicated by him going, it's God's plan, bro. I got to keep this business open, but also it's not making any money and I can't pay you. It's God's plan. God bless you.
Dogman's got a family.
Yeah, did he say about Dogman's family? Dogman's like, you met my wife. Oh, poor Dogman. Well, he's gone. And he's not concerned. This is September 4th, 2008, almost the anniversary. It's 7:20 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I'm pumped. And no, it has nothing to do with my caffeine intake. And I was like, oh, ayo, intake. We got an intake.
But I feel like that's a normal use of the word.
No, it counts.
Okay.
But everything to do with tonight being the official start of my fantasy football career. I was like, oh, God. And he talks about that. And he goes, I'm going to do baseball. Did I say football? It's fantasy baseball. It's just a matter of needing to know the players well. And I was like, doesn't he already watch all the games? That's the whole thing with him, is that he's watching all the baseball games. He needs to get to know the players. And he goes, I need to get to know the players about as well as I know my wife. Which is like, Vince, you're just leaving it right there on a plate. Fantasy sports are my weakness. What can I say? I don't drink. I don't do drugs. We're doing this again. I don't go out with friends. I sit in front of my computer and I manage my teams like I'm the second coming of Billy Martin. If Vince has expressed anything in this book, it's that fantasy sports, he likes them a lot. So, then he talks about who runs the fantasy baseball league in TNA. Showtime Eric Young. Senior referee Rudy Charles. And then they have a go-getter from the office named Matt Conway.
What's a Matt Conway?
Don West won last year, and he brought a ringer to the draft to advise him on his picks. Jeff Jarrett runs the league, and he gets number 1 pick, and it's held at his house. And it's just a bunch of this shit where he's like, what's that about? And I wrote, this sucks.
This is your closing argument in your book, you fucking...
Well,
thanks for wasting our time.
Which then Vince goes, back to the store with no customers. You mean your business. Your business that you own. CD Warehouse is dying on the vine. I tried everything. Advertising and promotions trick in the... Every advertising promotions trick in the advertising and promotions book. Ugh. Ugh.
You read it.
I know. I'm trying to read that.
You don't have to.
So well, then and then he calls God the great magician struck again. Out of the clear blue, I heard from a Hollywood agent who I hadn't heard from in years. She was just making a service call to see what I'd been doing. Somehow, the topic came around to rope opera. Folks, we got a book title. A script I'd written 7 years earlier. Still showing interest in the project, I asked her to reach out to an old friend, David Arquette, who now had his own production company with his wife, Courtney Cox. To be honest, I really thought nothing of it, until she called back a few weeks later and told me that David wanted to meet with me to talk about the script. What do you think?
If he
You think
had that script on his Patreon, I would subscribe.
Do you think a random agent that he used to know, or possibly was his, was just calling around, doing a checkup? Vince.
Well, I don't know. David Arquette is kooky.
But do you think? Well, that's what I'm saying. What's the real? Did David Arquette Did Vince call somebody he knew from that scene at that time and go, "Can I get a meeting with David Arquette? I've got another script." He's pitching it as an agent that he used to know the fact that he goes in Hollywood, called him and was like, "Vince, you got anything going on?" "Well, actually, I've been sitting on this script. God must have put you in my way."
Don't let Dogman go.
Because a matter of fact, I've had this script for 7 years, and I've just also recently worked with David Arquette. When I say recently, I mean 4 years ago. So he goes to Los Angeles. Okay, so he goes, he never expected this. It must be some kind of sign. But then, in this odd born-again Christian brain of his, he goes, well, now that I'm opening the door to rope opera, now that my script's out there, randomly, I have to contact Jeff Jarrett and Vince McMahon. I was going, what the fuck is happening here?
He's probably a fucking idiot and thinks he's got leverage.
That's exactly how the chapter plays out. So, but also he needs to contact his closest friend in the world, and also who is in on this project. Jeff Iorio, half Italian, half Puerto Rican, and also, if you remember, the person thanked in this book, dedicated. Jeff was far and away the closest to me, besides Amy. I had known Jeff for over 30 years, as we grew up together in Farmingville, Long Island. And for his entire life, Jeff's dream was to become an actor.
So he was in on the project?
Yes.
So Jeff wrote this thing.
Let's see. Let me read.
Yeah.
I was also going to get the opportunity to spend time with my closest friend, who was also in on the project. Yeah, Jeff was also in on the. Yep. You think Vince wrote? You think Vince wrote? You've had the theory that Vince has never written a script in his life, to the point that he points out that wrestling scripts aren't like real scripts.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Jeff hearing stories from Vince and then turning it into a script, and then yes, Larry, you're right.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to see him become more of a part of La La Land scene than he did. You always hear it called the La La Land scene.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Vince keeps calling it Hollywood and La La Land, he's so far disconnected. And then you can also tie that to the Brian Goulwert's bitterness and like anger, and the fact that we read Goulwert's book and we're like, this guy is also outside of that bubble for the most part, except outside of a ABC Family.
Yeah.
Like, and then his uncle that we could not find him acknowledging his nephew. And then, but then like Vince, who's also like, what is this, Hollywood? No, thank you, bro. Jeff and I had everything in common. Our strongest thread being the world of entertainment. For over 30 years, we could recite the same Hollywood lines from the same Hollywood scenes over and over. Vince and Jeff's favorites: Rocky, Saturday Night Fever, and then this one caught me off guard. Any Marx Brothers movie, and then and Television's Odd Couple. I was like, the Marx Brothers.
More like the Mark Brothers.
I mean, do you have a friend like that?
Who likes what? Popular culture in the 70s and then likes the Marx Brothers?
No, but they speak to you in the few things they like, you know what I mean? And they know it inside and out. Like you do with your movie, your Paul Newman movies, but you would text your friend like a picture of Paul Newman and cool. Like,
no.
Or use some obscure line from the movie.
I've never done that. No, I've never done that. What I did once was I texted one friend a picture of Pete Davidson every day. I did that once with no explanation. And even when he would text why, I would just send another picture of Pete Davidson. That's what I've done that. But I never talk in any kind of. I don't do when people go. I quote The Simpsons around the house,
Yeah,
Larry.
Yeah.
I don't.
You're not American.
No, my wife loves The Simpsons. She's got so much Simpsons knickknacks. It's sick. It's disgusting.
No.
Because she fell into the wrestling thing where people are like, "Oh, you like The Simpsons?" And so
I don't know.
she has so
Just
much.
Ever saw this shirt before that you're talking about? This.
Like, standing.
Worker
Let's say suck my dick.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Worker in Parasite.
It's wonderful.
Look down. Worker in Parasite. I think is that the book with the mouse?
No, they were Itchy and Scratchy replacements for a show.
Oh, okay.
They were the Eastern European.
Should I call my wife in and be like, "Look at Larry, stand up. Look at his shirt. Do you know what that is?" No, but yeah, when I first, she was like, she had like board game, all this like stuff you could sell to a thrift shop and be like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And I'm going, why do you own this stuff? She said, I like The Simpsons like for like a year or two, and then it's never stopped. Like the dolls, the board games, the anything.
Yeah. That's exhausting.
Well, it's
it was something to be alive because we're just at the age. That first wave of Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like how big it was. Like I had the fucking Simpsons CD. No, not even CD. Probably a cassette at the time.
Look at you. What are you, Matt Groening Jr.?
What? I'm just saying that's how big it was. They had to fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. What I like is that we all like books. Gus, I won't speak for you. Larry, I like.
Jesus, that's a fucking shot. Wow.
Really,
wow.
But so like I've had a family member buy me a Bill O'Reilly history book because they're like you like history.
Oh,
and you like history books. So it's tough when you like something like that, which is like I have a specific taste of specific authors I like, and then nobody's gonna walk up to me and be like, I found this fucking deviant who wrote this, and I think you're gonna like. They'll be like, I heard you like drunks. I got Bill O'Reilly.
That happened a couple of days ago. This friend always gets me the best gifts, and he's like, "Hey, you like J.D. Salinger, right?" I'm like, "Never read him." He's like, "Oh no,
you like the classics?"
Like, he's like, "You never read Catcher in the Rye?" I'm like, "Nope." He's like, "Well, you better read it." I'm like, "Oh no."
You know what? I do have the J.D. Salinger like collection. I do have that.
I've read the short stories and like them.
It's Catcher in the Rye. Colin, you listening? Here's my review of Catcher in the Rye. It's good. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you can. It's all right. Yeah, he's mad at the world. God damn it.
Yeah, I know the beats.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, it's yours. It's a solid. You're nodding. You're like, I'm finally. It's like when you're watching like Casablanca. And you're like, and now I've seen it.
Yeah.
Right? You ever read that with the book? And you're like,
sure.
I got it.
One day, Catch 22, I'll finish, and that's how I'll feed.
Yeah. And that's the way war goes. Who would have thought? Yeah, I guess I'll mutate it over these. I had another thought, and then I just plumb forgot it. God damn it! About oh no, I once also got a book for a gift that was it was a history book, and then the author's name was my name, and that was hey, it's your name. Interesting. So did you just? Then I want to know, like, did you type my name into something and then go, "Oh, look, what a hit," or did you find this random book and you're like, "What? Oh man, double catch! It's also written by the same name." And I was like, I don't know. It's it's tough. Guys, when was the last good gift you got? I'm sure Larry doesn't have to think far. He's got people that love him. I'm always told I'm unknowable. I'm unknowable. It's impossible to buy a gift for you. That's what I'm by many people.
I don't remember what you got me.
Oh shit! That's the last good gift you got. Carrie, don't listen to this episode.
No. Again, the friend who's giving me the Salinger thing always gets me awesome, like custom art or something like that.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. People have been
Well,
very kind and generous, and
guys, don't speak too early because I am going to ship you Wimmers at some point. To the point that my wife got mad at me because my father recently shipped me as a Christmas gift food. He ships me. He ships food, you know. And I was like, oh shit, these Nordic Gel ice packs are reusable. I gotta and there's like 15 of them. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta ship Wimmers here. I gotta put these all in the freezer. And then she's like, why is the freezer so full? I was like, I gotta reuse those gel packs for something down the line. Don't worry about it. And I couldn't tell her. I gotta ship a pack of hot dogs to two separate people. And she'd be like, she'd be like, Wimmers?
Are these like gas station hot dogs?
No.
Oh, these are like.
What's funny is when you guys were like Wimmers. One time I was talking to my brother and I was like, God, in the hot dogs we're camping, and he's like, what, the fucking Wimmers? And I was like, yeah, Wimmers are good. And he's like, I fucking hated Wimmers. And I was like, what? It blew my mind. I was like, no fucking way. And he was like, you ate Wimmers the whole time? You hated Wimmers growing up? And he was like, he never liked Wimmers. I couldn't believe it. To me, it was tied with childhood nostalgia. Camping. Mother only buying Wimmers. My brother, though, was like, I know, don't care
Maybe
for him.
that's why he hates it, though. Maybe his memories of camping with your mother are vastly different than your experience of camping with your mother.
I was eating them too succulently. I was eating them too.
Oh.
My Wimmers, I'm clapping. Wimmers. Like, I fucking hate these things. Okay, we're gonna finish this chapter, Colin. Hold on. So he wants to call Vince and oh yeah, okay. So his movies. Vince and Jeff's favorite movies are Rocky, Saturday Night Fever, The Marx Brothers, and the TV Odd Couple. Those are their favorite films. The TV show Odd Couple. Jeff is talking to his oldest, or Vince is talking to his oldest brother, Anthony. Jeff's brother, Anthony, the older brother, took Vince and Jeff to their first X-rated movie. And I wrote, he put first. And then you go, first of many. When we were about 15.
Listen, has Russo been to the booths?
Yeah.
He took a train into Times Square and definitely jerked it in the fucking.
And then got some Sbarro.
Correct. Real New York slice.
Amy, I've got to drive down to Nashville. It's 4 hours. Why? Don't worry about it. It's God telling me. And if I stop along the way, don't read the credit card bills. So they're 15 when they went to their first X-rated movie. Jeff and I were so close that when we were 16 and I was going out with one of my first girlfriends, he let me borrow his car, since I didn't have one, to take her on a date. The catch was that Jeff would ride in the trunk in case anything happened to the car. Right. So they're riding in the car, and Jeff is playing a video game, and they can hear the video game in the trunk. And Vince is going, don't worry about it. But then the girl's like, stop the car, look in the trunk. There's a half Italian, and then again, he puts Jeff's ethnicity first, and like, can you get a load of this guy? He's half Italian, half Puerto Rican. He's playing a handheld version of Mattel's NFL football.
Those things weren't backlit. I don't think he would have been able to see it.
He's just numbly, blindly playing. Also, the whole story, I didn't believe this story. The whole story of like, I'll let you borrow my car for your date, but only if I'm in the trunk in case something happens. It's like, this is creepy. If that's the true story, the kid is devious.
Oh yeah, he's definitely touching himself.
And so Vince claims that he looked to the girl and goes, "What? You never saw anybody playing a video game before?" That didn't happen. Let's see. So the meeting went great with David. Jeff was on his A game that day. Oh yeah, okay. So now they're with David Arquette. Jeff was on his A game that day, and we both did our best to sell David the ring, the corner posts, and all 4 turnbuckles. And then I was like, holy shit, yeah, Jeff's involved. I had not picked up that little line that Jeff was on it from the get-go. So when Jeff is in the meeting, I was like, holy shit, he brought fucking Jeff. Wait, did Carrie just say Larry doesn't have any pants on?
Not me, her.
Oh. Carrie, come back. Why are we on this record of why is not wanting to be on camera?
She would if she had pants on.
My wife won't even. She had pants and a shirt, and her hair's covered up. Oh, here we go again. Carrie. What?
Nothing.
Something about legs. The legs are getting cold from the whole no pants situation.
Living the lifestyle when we can.
I never realized this house was so drafty, Larry. So they have a great meeting. He's like, "Oh man, Jeff is." I love that Vince Russo, industry veteran, is like, Jeff is killing it in this meeting. Fuck, he's charming the pants off of David. But then David told us he just signed on to do a pilot with ABC. The timing couldn't have been worse. And I was like, you fucking Mark, you fucking rube. So now that Rope Opera is dead with David, because gosh darn it, David Arquette took this meeting that I think Vince started and was like, yeah, guys, I'd love it, but actually I've got a pilot going on in ABC, so God. But you guys keep me posted on it and what happens with it. And Vince is like, damn, man. Well, then he has to do. Jeff's like, man, I can't believe that we're so close. Then Vince has to do something that he just never thought he'd do. Out of the blue, I called Vince McMahon. I was like, wow, just like the agent. Just out of the blue. All of a sudden, when Vince doesn't have a job, Rope Opera's got heat. He can't. Everybody's interested in Rope Opera. A few days later, I heard back from him. I opened up our conversation by asking him how he and his family were. And
what is Rope Opera?
He never explains what Rope Opera is. It's a script.
Okay.
Let me make sure I remember. The topic came around to Rope Opera, a script I had written 7 years earlier. That's it. That's all that is known.
Okay.
By the way, with the deceased Jeff Eeyore, I think you should put that in there. Why would Jeff? I want him to be an actor. Why would Jeff be pitching it with you if he didn't have any creative hand in it? Is Jeff just standing nearby going, and that would be me, an unknown? That role is me. It was written for me, and that's me.
Yeah.
David Arquette's like, who the fuck are you, Jeff? So he calls Vince, and then Vince Russo. I mean, is this real? I love that in this book more than any other. We go, is this real? I opened up our conversation by asking him how he and his family were, and the minute he didn't reciprocate by asking me about mine, right then I knew it was just same cold, callous, money-motivated cyborg Vince. It's just a different day. That is, to me, that was wild. Because, of course, in Vince Russo fashion goes, anyways, I told Vince that I knew he just started a WWE motion picture division. Vince, I heard in the sheets you got something going on with this WWE Studios. Does that make movies? Because I got this script. That's crazy. Because I had this script and we talked about it. Do you remember when I worked there? We talked about it. And now you got this whole. I mean, it says WWE Films. Does that mean like movies? I wanted. I told Vince I knew that he had just started a WWE motion picture division, and I wanted to talk to him about rope opera. It was in fact a project I pitched to him many years earlier. I told him that I had met with David Arquette to discuss the project. I was like, "Oh shit, you fucking worm!" He's trying. Vince, I just met with David Arquette. He's interested. I don't know.
Oh, Vince, why don't you take your rope opera and hang yourself?
But I'm just wanted to. I know I told him. I was like, I got to talk to Vince. You know, a lot of this stuff happened there. So I got to go talk to Vince. Is Vince Russo Trump? I got to go talk to Vince. He's, you know, Vince isn't part of it. You know, we got to. Vince's response was, well, I really don't have time to meet with you. Burn! Fucking. Well, then he thought, man, maybe the old Vince Russo would rear his ugly head. Now let me get this straight. You don't have 5 minutes to meet with me? The guy who gave you everything he had when your company was about to go belly up? The guy who put you before his wife and his children to help make your company a success? The guy who is partially responsible for you being able to fund a movie company in the first place?
Oh my god.
That guy you don't have 5 minutes for?
I have 5 minutes for Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
But Vince's heart was...
my final thought.
Vince was holding his heart back. He didn't say anything because he's a fucking coward. I just felt... Actually, the truth, I felt sorry for him. Then Vince says this, because Vince is enjoying this phone call, it seems like. First, Vince says, I don't have time to meet with you about your stupid fucking script. I have people for that. What makes you think you can come back here and write anyway? The same people are here who were here when you were going to come back the last time, which goes opposed to Vince's thing of like, he wanted me there, which says that he did tell somebody, I can't work with these people. It needs to be you and me.
Yeah.
So again, I explained to Vince that this had nothing to do with writing on Raw or SmackDown. This had to do with an original movie I was interested in doing with him. Well, then he went off on an arrogant tangent about how his film company was only looking for quality projects. At that point, I just wanted to New York go. Was he kidding me? And then he goes into like, what are you talking about quality projects? And then Vince goes, send the script in. I'll have somebody look at it. Studio mogul Vince McMahon. And then Russo's takeaway. There's no good way to say it. Vince wasn't even a human being anymore. He was just some pompous, cocky guy I didn't even know or want to know. And I was like, you called him, fucker. To be like, Vince, I got a script. Vince.
And then to have the audacity that I funded your studio.
Yeah. Vince, ask about my family. How are they doing? Not good. It's never good. Don't treat anybody like Vince McMahon treated me during our last conversation. Nobody deserves that. We are all different. Here we go. We're different with different gifts and different purposes. But also, we're all one and the same. Larry, are you learning anything, Larry? By the way, money, fortune, fame, and power do not separate one person from another. They're given to you by God. Well, at this point, I couldn't wait to talk to Double J because he's been absolutely cucked 2 times now. One by David Arquette and Vince McMahon. So he goes to Double J. He can separate business from pleasure when he has to, but he never makes you feel less of a human being than he is. And I was like, what did you do to Jeff? Vince McMahon, on the other hand, he gets off on that. So in the next few weeks, I worked on some original programming for TNA to present to Spike. Because he goes to Jeff and he goes, hey, and Spike, he goes, oh, well, Spike is interested in developing stuff through the TNA brand. Sure, if you have anything, send it our way. And so Vince, instead of sending rope opera, starts developing new ideas.
Yeah.
And again, I left it all up to God. And he keeps hearing it while he's working at TNA. All of a sudden, he's got his foot in the door in TNA again. And all of a sudden, he's meeting the staff, and he's walking around. He's working on stuff, and he's feeling useful. And all of a sudden, God is saying to him, "Your friend needs you." Well, about a month later from when this initial Jeff contact started, and this has nothing, don't think that when Vince had no work, first he tried to do a Hollywood thing and it absolutely failed straight up out of the gate. Not got 1 inch or yard out of it. And no, he did not then call Vince first. And then no, after that also absolutely ate shit. He did not call Jeff. But wouldn't you know it, after he called Jeff and he got his foot in the door, God was telling him, you need to work at TNA. And about a month later, on a Friday night, again out of nowhere, Jeff calls him. He wants to talk about writing for TNA again. Well, Jeff needed me. And God was sending me his way. God told him to leave TNA when Jeff was like, I need you. But now, God's telling him to go write for Jeff. Well, here's the thing. Jim Cornette was working for TNA, and to put it mildly, he hated my guts. One time, picture this, in a room, he lashed out to the point that Dutch left the room. What do you think about that? You're a Cornette. Can you imagine Jim Cornette cutting a promo so long that Dutch Mantel is like, man, I gotta piss at this point and get it fresh in my drink and maybe get a sandwich. And Vince is going at the other end of the table. Bring it on. Come on, bro. I can take it. All right.
I don't know.
Do you want to do chapter 46 or are you tapping? Who's tapping?
Oh, it's a page and a half. Yeah, do 46 and then we'll tap.
Jeff and Dixie, 2 people, 2 philosophies. So he gets hired back at TNA and he goes, he decides, Vince Russo decides, I would no longer be at times difficult to work with. Oh, this is a new wrinkle. He hasn't spoken about this, so he had to tell Jeff that if he came back, he would not be difficult to work with. It was the other places that were, Well, that change was an easy one for me because now I was completely accepted and understood the fact that TNA was Jeff's baby. No, you said that in your previous run. You always do understand that it's somebody else's thing, and then you still get mad for some reason when, like, what is going on with this guy's fucking head? So he's there to support Jeff 100% any way he can. But now the creative dynamic, the story becomes a bit dicey. Suddenly this writer is in a tough quandary. I was shocked that quandary was that he had that at the ready.
It's been building to it.
Well, so he's going, I want this book. So he's like, now I'm working for TNA, but I'm writing this book. And I'm working for Jeff again. I want this book to be received by TNA with open arms. When I say TNA, I'm talking about Jeff Jarrett and Dixie Carter. And I want them to be able to promote it proudly on Impact. on the TNA website, and wherever else they see fit. I want the entire company to be proud of this book. Let's see. This is the end of the book. This is getting towards the end of the book. What the fuck is he?
Just giving you full disclosure. If he's biased, that's why.
Well, Jeff and Dixie have a difference of business philosophies between Jeff and... By the way, I'm just going to tell you now, the payoff to this chapter is so fucking good. It's so fucking funny. Difference of business philosophies between Jeff and Dixie. Because this is Vince going, my analysis of the situation, my opinion, I'm in the middle. I agree with Jeff. I agree with Dixie. Jeff thinks that TNA needs to be a wrestling business. Dixie believes it should be a company. But you can't do both. You can't treat a wrestling company in any way other than a wrestling company. You can't treat a wrestler in any other way than a wrestler. AKA, like shit. You can't treat them like a fucking proper... They're a boy. They're a little boy.
Steve, get in the van.
Well, Dixie feels like it should be run like an entertainment company. She thinks that wrestler replaces the actor or the singer. It's no different than Sony Records or Universal Pictures. Sounds great on paper and it should work that way, but shouldn't it? Impossible. A wrestler is a wrestler is a wrestler and has to be treated as... This is Vince going, I hate this system. It's so fucked up. But also, we're not exploiting these people enough, Dixie. You don't understand. They're dogs. He's going back to Trump. They're dogs, Dixie. They need to be treated. Say this conflict has been the main factor in holding down the growth of the company. It's all about money, and it's one with Vince McMahon, and that's because it's one man, one vision. But then Vince Russo's eyes are going cross. It's two people. And once again, in this book, and this book should have been called Clueless, Vince Russo goes, I haven't a clue. I've never worked for two individuals with bigger hearts than Dixie Carter and Jeff Jarrett. So anyways, after doing that where he's like, they're both right in their own ways, he goes, now promote this book. Enough said. I mean, that's... And I'm telling you, again, how this ends is like, it's always the same with Vince, where it's just like, you know what? That guy's all right. What's that? He killed the guy? You know, now that I think about it, when I said that guy was all right, what I meant was, you know, it's, Jesus Christ. He's so... You will never get him. If we interviewed him, he'd be like, good point. Now, here's... And he just would talk for 5 minutes of nothing. He doesn't want to be held accountable. You could be like, you didn't really say anything. He'd be like, to you, bro, I said nothing. But to others, I said everything. It's like, that doesn't... That stuff sometimes it goes, wait, is this guy the smartest guy alive, or is he just saying things off the top of his head?
Yeah.
Gus, what do you think?
I'm done.
God damn it, you guys. Let's go 6 hours. What are we doing here? Now we got to do this book and Ring of Glory. We got to do double records.
I got to go listen to that Roddy Piper show.
Well, can we end the recording and then... Or can we do it right now on the recording and then you decide to leave it in or
okay
not?
At home?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think not? She wandering around in the back? I don't see her. It's only 9:48 here.
I know. I'm tired. I'm a blue collar worker.
I am too.
I need some me time.
Oh God, you guys.
All right.
So we're not going to watch the Roddy Piper thing. Okay, fair enough. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
It's audio.
No. Well, I want to... Well, is that...
We're going to do a 28-minute listen along with Meltzer.
Yes.